Joseph Peck says, "I will move wherever the people are."
Okay. Waiting for Blacklist Universe. Let's see. Why is it? Let me see. It's just pinwheeling. Oh, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Good morning, whatever the case may be. Welcome, Blacklist Universe, to the drawing stream. We have already started on another previous channel. But anyways,
Hello,
you can be
everyone.
on Blacklist Universe, or you can be on what other channel do I have it on?
Unapologetic American. It
There
was
you go.
on comic books, but then comic books like a pro. But I
Draw
think
Comics Like a Pro is now defunct. So
oh
or not
dear.
defunct, but it's no longer streaming.
Oh, okay.
There you go. You got your
that's
10
a-
minutes. You got your 10 minutes on. I apologize for my failed.
I thought you were gonna apologize.
Joseph Peck says, "I want to go where the people are."
I want to see.
Let's see
Like
them
the
drawing.
Stream Killer Miller. Hey, Arlene, come on, be nice. All right, cue the Twilight Zones. All right, I back to it, Elliot.
Oh yeah. So, what you looking for? Jesus, I am.
And then he says,
Who are you looking for? Jesus? These not them. What's he saying?
basically, he's not who you're looking for. They're not who you're looking for.
They're not. Yeah. It's not them. Yep. Gotcha. That's
So
kind of
Jesus totally takes
Oh.
control of this situation because they came to arrest all of them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't send an entire cohort of soldiers to arrest one guy, right?
Good point.
Oh wow. So wow, I've never seen it that way before.
That's
He was saying these men. Well, Jesus said
do you
that
He's basically
he
saying,
was promised
"Back up."
that the men under your care would be safe during that time. That was him protecting the other apostles, saying
That's
like,
right.
don't even think about it,
That's right.
because
'Cause
if
I'm in
Jesus draws a
control here.
line, it's like you don't cross a line that Jesus lays that says,
Yeah.
like, don't do it.
Let's understand exactly who's in control here.
Yep.
Now, I need to be sacrificed for the redemption of the world. And you're going to do that. But this is not your doing. This is not your might.
Yep. He's a boss.
Mm-hmm.
But Peter still thinks it's go time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry. No, not. I will not have that. Slash. And Jesus takes the Take it easy, Peter. Take it easy. I told you. If you live by the sword, you're gonna die by the sword. Back it up. And then he's like, for my ear. What?
You like how his ears clean?
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's pretty cool.
Oh, wow. Yep.
I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on over there? Oh no, master, no. Yeah, it's okay. I gotta go. Ariane, what's up? Or Arlene, what's up? And like dun 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 dun. I was like, oh man, what are we gonna do? Oh man, I don't know, man. This is bad news. Let's get out of here. Oh.
If only he had told us something like this was going to happen.
For $2, Comics Exposed says, hello, Mike. Hello, Elliot. Hello, all.
Comics Exposed.
What's up, Comics?
Oh man. Just moment. Dun, 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 dun. What's next? So Peter's on his way to the city. He's following around. Oh, there's that coal, that fire. He's like, I'm just gonna warm up over here. There he is. Just being judged, being quiet. Notice there's no word balloons. no pictures in the word balloons either.
Oh, that's interesting. It's really silent.
And then, okay, let me see what this is. What's the meaning behind this here? It's like we're gonna blow up a temple, and he's gonna raise it up. And on the third day, I got you. I couldn't tell that was. They look like holes, but now I see they're suns and moons.
Mm-hmm.
It says he's gonna build it up on the third day. This guy's crazy. Mm-hmm. What say you? Are you him?
He's really freaking out.
Be him.
Okay, that's the last one I did.
All right, it's good, man.
So
It's good.
I mean, that's the last. That's the last one that artist did.
The artist.
The artist,
The artist.
previously known as Mike Miller.
The one and
So
only.
So what are you drawing, Elliot?
Thomas Bear says Jerkmonger voiceover is best voiceover.
That is true. He does great.
Listen, this is how I see it. This is you're doing this to kind of get the idea out of other people that aren't used to Christianese. So I feel like this is how I used to do it when I used to teach children in Sunday school. I would do just like that. I just like take the story, I make it kind of relatable to them and where they were at. I feel like that works pretty good.
Yeah.
Amen.
But I could see how some people would be like, oh, no, I don't think that's cool. Don't do that. Like, all right, man, I'm just trying to say. Not everybody reads the Bible. They won't know the references. But I like that you have the references there, too, in the corner.
That is cool.
Yeah. So one of the ideas, and that we haven't contacted these people yet, but I just the guy that's going to help me kind of get this out there into the world. He was talking about the YouVersion Bible app. Like there's a YouVersion for kids.
Oh, I have that.
Oh, you do? So I was thinking, you know what would be freaking awesome is if you turned this into a comic app for that, and then if you clicked on the particular panel, it would take you to the scriptures.
That would be great. What a handy cross-reference.
Right? Like clickety clack, 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 clack.
Like you have your
If
own
only you knew some programmers.
Huh.
Look at
I don't know.
just
Like I said, we haven't even talked to these people yet. So
Okay.
good idea. It'd be called Mike's Concordance.
yeah, so I told a couple of the pastors in my church something like, "Hey, I'm doing my own translation of the Bible," and you should have just seen the looks on their faces.
Really, Michael? Really?
Really? What you going off the Vulgate or what are you doing? And I showed them. They're like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, okay. Just draw weird pictures. That's cool.
Drawing a comic.
I got your bank.
It's funny. We were talking to our other developer friend, and it was about what was the man's name? The
Berries. Oh goodness me.
Man, who was the artisan?
I can look it up on Discord. I can look it up on Discord notes.
I get to know. Who made a lot of things for the temple, but also crafted the Ark of the Covenant. And he was the first person in the Bible described as being filled with the Spirit. It's just interesting to see so many times, like the arts and artisans and creativity don't really get
Credit
mentioned at all. Yeah, exactly. It's something that kind of exists, but nobody notices. But he's there. He's named and was, not a prophet or a judge or something like that, but the first person described as being filled with the Spirit.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's going to be an audiobook version, Zach. Kind of the point is that anyone on Earth can understand it through the pictures.
But you know what? Elliot would do a great English rendition of the audiobook because he could.
And Spanish. What's the
Spanish
Spanish commentary?
Actually, I would do a terrible job in Spanish.
As long as it's fun.
Mi español no es muy bueno.
Yeah.
That's just pretty good. I just can't get it. I have to work on it. I have to practice it.
Oh, Zach makes a good point. What about the blind, Mike? They need to hear the story too.
Ooh. Well,
There's
you know,
actual audio Bibles that
yeah, but you know what? Maybe they talk different too.
That would be pretty funny if you could have a dubbed version of the comic, and when you clicked on it, wouldn't that be great if Elliot's voice came up and started like, "Oh man, what's going on here?" That'd be great.
Oh snap!
Oh snap! That guy's ear came clean up.
snappity boo.
How are you
There's a
gonna do
little-
the crucifixion? That's gonna be interesting.
That's what this whole thing was about.
That's true.
The
Literally.
original vision I had for this story I had in church. Okay, so I kind of started visually with like just this white blank canvas, not blank, a white canvas, a white painted canvas, and it had one black dot on it, and it was a symbol of how you can't. And this is all in my head. I didn't actually do it.
Sure.
Of how imperfection cannot exist within perfection, right? And then somehow or another, that led my mind to this vision of these people walking around covered in mire and mud and dirt, like it's their sin, while Jesus is walking around perfect and clean, like King Arthur in that one scene. How do you know he's a king? And everybody knows that scene, right?
What's that from?
Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Must be a king. How do you know he's a king? Well, he's got
still
crap
haven't-
all over him.
I still haven't seen that.
What? All right, don't derail me. Don't derail me with that kind of
So sorry about that.
nonsense. But yeah, so the vision is that Jesus is he's obviously Jesus because he's the only one that isn't covered in muck.
Dirt.
And then when he's crucified, the muck starts falling off the people and floating up onto him,
Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
covering him
Yeah.
to the point where he's unrecognizable. And then when he says "Tetelestai," all the mud disappears.
That's beautiful.
And that's the entire purpose of this entire thing that I started 8 years ago, and now I'm finally finishing it. But
Right
yeah,
on.
Great. I was.
Zach
How-
Richmond says, "That's cool. I was reading a Transformers comic, brand new, just came out today. It's written by Daniel Gordon Johnson. Highly recommend. I recommend it too. I read it as well. Very good."
Nice.
do you have the old Transformer noises in your head, or the new really annoying ones that are in the movie?
The one you do with your mouth.
You ever met?
Hello, Potts.
Hello, Mike.
Oh, look who it is.
Herman?
Hang on.
He was hanging out with me the other day on my live stream.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
nice.
Yes, I was causing trouble today.
You
Oh.
Were
get
you?
on.
I
What
made
kind of
Yeah,
trouble?
he's
I made
fighting with
someone-
John Delarose in my Discord.
I made someone very, very angry with me.
Where?
John just wants to get along, Herman,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and you seem to be defending some other friend of yours who
Yeah, Larry
doesn't
Larry
defend
Correa. So what happened was that Larry puts up stuff and John jumped in there and started promoting himself and his books. And Larry, being Larry, didn't take kindly to that. He'd done that like 5 times. And he basically dressed him down and blocked him on Twitter. And obviously John didn't take kindly to that. So, and I mentioned something about John's MO being creating drama. And John saw that and went off on me, apparently on one of his live streams. And somebody told me about it. So I'd already blocked him because there's a lot of drama that goes on in his stuff, and I don't like it in my Twitter feed. So I mean, I had blocked him a long time before that, but he didn't know who I was. So, so apparently he'd been looking for me, and he found me.
Oh my goodness.
Did he beat you up?
Pot's causing trouble.
Yeah, he's causing trouble again. I was a bad, bad boy. I apologize to him. It's all. We're
that's good.
good. We're all
Yay.
good.
Were you breaking the law? Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
It sounds like bad high school drama.
It is.
Drama.
It is.
She's a
So-
bad mamma drama.
It's like I just don't want it. I got my own shtick and
You know what it is,
go
though?
with it.
It's just Potts being Potts.
It's just me being me. I'm
I
a
like
bad, bad boy.
And it was John being John.
Yeah.
That
I
chocolate,
like pollen
that
Barnabas.
peanut butter doesn't belong in that chocolate.
Chocolate. No, it does
No,
not.
we're talking about JDA, Andrew.
Well, I like pots.
I suffer
Yeah, I'll
Potts.
do. I like rock pots.
I crock pots.
I'm a crackpot.
Yeah, there's some drama I heard earlier through what Eric July and Ricada, and I'm like, I
Yep.
don't really care.
What?
Oh no!
I don't know.
Are you totally out of the loop on that?
Me?
I am.
Oh, we both are.
Yeah.
Someone,
Oh my gosh,
someone
yeah.
Fill us
crashed
in,
on
Uncle Mike.
something.
Fill us in. Hold
Oh,
on.
Yeah.
Let me
do
grab
I
a
have
beer.
to?
All right. Let me grab my snack.
Oh, brother.
All right, go ahead. Continue.
Popcorn.
Let's
Here's the
see.
tale of
How
some
do
YouTube
I
drama.
describe this monstrosity of internet drama?
It's everywhere these days.
It's everywhere. It's
Well-
everywhere. Zach says it's overrated and boring, so maybe we should.
Maybe we can come up with something else.
What if we just made up what we
Elliot's
think
pencil
We
stop.
could make up a
He's like, I
story.
want to know the drama.
I got to know.
Spill.
No, don't worry
Spill
about it.
it.
I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
No, I mean I can do a quick rundown. I think
I was fine before it came up, and I'll be fine after it goes away. Everyone will be friends again, or not. And
Oh, my
bottom
everyone will be
line. It was
friends.
kind of like me and Herman, or Jeff Herman. I don't know. What do you want me to call you on this?
Jeff. Just call me Jeff.
All right, me and
But
Jeff.
it's spelled Herman.
It's Jeff
But it's-
spelled
but it's
H E
pronounced
R N.
Throat Wobbler Mangrove. Only select people will understand that joke. So it's like Jeff and John and me, right? But like, imagine that Jeff was like all pissed off that I wasn't siding with him instead of John,
okay.
right? And then like John was on a stream trying to explain what Jeff did wrong, and then Jeff was just like in the chat going, let me on, let me on, let me on, I gotta tell my side. And then he let him on, and then Jeff just came off like really, really stupid. And John, who's a lawyer at this point,
Oh. Okay. I guess I know who's who now. I was just gonna say I don't know who's who in this analogy, but all right.
yeah, and then obviously Jeff and John have their own fan bases, and since they're both based on outrage culture, they get really vitriolic and angry and what's the word? Like my team good, your team bad. No, your
get
team. I don't like your
clannish.
team anymore.
You get very tribal.
Tribal.
Tribal,
Planet.
yes.
Yeah.
So you
Party
get the
spirit?
entire
The party spirit.
internet
yeah.
space of their fandoms being super tribal and like going after each other. And even
fun.
after
Oh, that's
after Jeff and John called a truce publicly, the videos are still out there of them going at each other, and people constantly are e-fapping them because they get great views from it.
Well, I hope Jeff and the attorney patch things up.
Jeff already apologized.
Oh,
Kind
You're
okay.
cool, right?
What I should have said is, for Mike's sake, I'll apologize. I probably should have wrote that.
Yeah. For the sake of Mike. If you say it that way, it sounds more epic.
For the
Well,
sake of the kids.
doing it for the kids.
Yeah, those
So
are some
had
great
the-
faces.
How'd you?
I thought about that afterwards. Like, I should have said, for Mike's sake, I'll apologize. But I didn't do that.
Wait, how did you phrase it?
If hang on, let me go take a look.
I think you did phrase it for Mike's.
I don't think I
Thank you,
did it because
Zach.
I regretted.
Thank you, Zach Richmond. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah. Okay, John. If it'll make you feel less
Oh.
upset, I'll apologize.
But that's the edited version. You removed for Mike's sake, didn't you?
Maybe. Damn it.
So yeah, that's what's going on.
Well,
It's been the internet drama of the week.
I'm more interested in Disney drama. It's exciting.
I did not see the latest or is it the last episode of Ahsoka?
Is that what it is? That good,
people,
huh?
People are lit over that. Woo!
Oh yeah.
Is
Yeah.
lit good or bad?
Like angry.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Well,
that's too bad.
Some people are like, "This is the greatest thing ever."
Ah, okay.
So I'm like, "Oh, I don't like any of it." But go on.
I liked the last episode or the one before.
Yeah, I heard that the finale was very lame.
Really? I mean, that's what I heard too, but I've heard from the same people that the whole thing was really lame.
Yeah, I've been hearing that too.
And
No,
for me, I mean, I swear I just keep going back to the Star Wars TV of my youth, and I'm sorry, but this stuff is 100,000 times better than Ewok Adventures. And
Well, nobody said that was good either. That's not exactly.
no,
a
but
strong
there's this
argument.
mindset. Oh no, everything George Lucas did was good. It's like no.
He
no.
just did the voice of Filoni. That's pretty good.
Of who?
Filoni. That's his voice.
That's Dave Filoni's voice.
David,
Everything's really good. Ahsoka's my favorite hero. She's great.
listen, I'm just saying, all of it's trash. I have no desire for any of it.
Zach Richmond says, my brother really liked Ahsoka, and he's a big Star Wars nerd.
Well, I'm glad if you enjoyed it.
I'm not. Everyone must hate. Only hate.
Oh no! Give it to let's not have too much of that going around.
Yeah, the
Well,
entire
hate.
the entire Star Wars fandom on YouTube is on the dark side now.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I mean, oh dear.
do it.
Listen,
Do
they
it.
don't call me. They don't call me
Take
a jerk
that
for nothing.
video.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Go
that's
ahead.
a cool
I can
hand
take it.
shape.
I can take the hate. I can take it.
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily give you a happy heart.
Who
Nolan,
wants
why do
happy
you-
heart when you got hate?
Because Jesus.
Hate will fuel you.
So delicious. Hate's like a slice of
Oh,
German chocolate cake, only not. as
it'll
sweet.
make you sick.
It will make you fat.
Yes, fat with hate.
Fat with hate. Best kind of fat. It's hate fat.
You are obscenely hateful.
You need to go on a diet and not have all of that hate.
Your BMI index is quite high. Standing for,
No,
for body
HMI.
malice index.
Body
No,
malice.
it's HMI, hate mass index.
You win. Say nice.
You are hateful, most hateful. That's supposed to be impressive, but I couldn't get it to rhyme right.
Your hate jiggles in your belly.
Mm.
Go on a hate cleanse. That's a good idea.
You do that with a coffee enema, I believe.
Get that all out of the system.
Yes. Just one good flush.
No more hate. No more hate.
I'm all about the hate. I like hate con carne, and
Ooh, Fuzzy Creature
Hey.
likes hate jelly.
ooh,
That's good on lamb, I hear.
That's good, and hate tacos. Woo!
Mm.
You hate
With some sour cream. Come on now, you know what I'm talking about. Some sour cream on it. What's up?
That improves a great deal. And it's great in baking. Like
Oh,
just about any kind of a cake, like or banana bread or
Mm.
any kind of a
Birthday
muffin. It's you don't like cake?
It makes birthday cakes that much better.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that is true. It's just so it's a
Hate-filled.
waste.
gosh, it's so yummy.
Hay-filled sour cream birthday cake.
Come on now, come on. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm not sure if they have that brand where I shop. But,
Oh, at Kroger's.
oh, okay. That could
Oh,
be.
no.
We
Publix
don't have
has it.
Kroger's down here.
Publix has it in the hate aisle.
Isn't that right by the refrigerated bitterness section?
Yep. And right across from YouTube drama.
Oh, okay.
Get a big, like, family-sized box of YouTube drama.
Yeah, you can get that at Sam's.
Oh,
BJ's.
okay. They got a good deal of the hate flakes.
It's called something different at BJ's, but it's the same thing. Some people call it ire. Some people just hate.
They have one of those in our neighborhood, but I haven't been yet. So
Oh
I don't know.
They're-
Maybe I'll check it out.
They're
Maybe
coming
swing by
to,
the freezer section and get those hatesicles.
oh man.
Oh, cherry flavored hatesicles, my favorite.
Oh yeah.
I like Rocky hate. Rocky Road hate.
Rocky hate. Oh man.
Ever wonder why they make the huge batch of the banana ones, but they don't make a huge batch of any other single flavor? Like,
Because banana hatesicles are the best.
well, that could be it.
Gosh, why would you even question?
It's true.
Okay, so
Maybe like
here
cherry.
we have
Okay. Unresolved childhood trauma cereal. It stays crunchy in milk.
Ah! That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
oh, James has a cure for the hate obesity we're going through in this country. Strawberry shortcake and Bible verses, the best hate cleanse out there.
There you go.
Oh, I haven't had strawberry shortcake in ages.
Okay,
Do you
so
make it with biscuits or shortbread or the angel cake?
biscuits. You can't make strawberry shortcake with biscuits. What's wrong with you?
Some people do.
That's like a strawberry hate cake right there.
Maybe that's what it is. I can't have all that sweetness. Although Zach, as I understand, makes pretty good biscuits, so we'll see.
Oh, you know what? I can do the sin thing. This is my symbol for sin. Just the dirty.
That guy's kind of nuts, huh? Oh.
Well, he's tearing
Yeah.
his clothes. Right? He tears his clothes and says, "Blasphemy!"
Is he happy to tear his clothes? Like, check this
No, is that a happy face?
Check this
That's
out.
happiness?
Could be.
freedom. Oh, these robes are so confining.
Those upper lips do kind of go up a little. Could be a happy angry.
Well, he's happy to find a reason to kill.
Yeah, he's been looking for this.
You have
But
to
that
do
doesn't
that
mean he's
artist
happy.
thing, Mike,
He's
when
still
you're
kinda crazy.
making the expression as you're drawing it.
I'm glad you
I
have
generally
peaceful
do.
biscuits. It's funny how you'll do that without thinking sometimes. Like if you're trying to do something, you'll like do the pose or kind of make the
Yeah,
expression.
because you're acting.
Mhm. It's like,
You're the actor.
gotta get that feeling going in there. Guys in the backgrounds are kind of like, that guy's being crazy about this, and Jesus is like, you're kind of being weird about this.
Yeah.
You're making this weird.
Okay. What think you? They answered and said he's guilty of death. Okay.
Guilty of hate.
Hate death. Or death
So
hate.
did Jesus.
Hate death hate.
Kill la kill.
Pen pine apple or pen pineapple apple pen.
Oh,
Apple,
gosh.
apple pen.
Do 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 do.
Sorry, I'm eating something. I didn't want to hear the crackling plastic.
Are you eating?
I am.
hate?
Oh yeah,
He's
peanut
hating.
butter. It's peanut butter flavored hate.
Nice.
Mm.
And it came in a plastic bag?
And little pouches. It's Nature Valley biscuit something.
Oh, okay. That makes a kind of sense. I'm like, doesn't it usually come in a jar? Yeah, and it would be on something. Is that just Winnie the Pooh style eating a jar of peanut butter? Like, how? That would be half bad.
Oh bother.
You gotta watch out for that. Some kids are allergic to hate nuts.
Wow, that sounds so dirty.
Yeah, come on, Nolan. Have a little class.
Mm.
Like grape nuts.
Known as like the school during summer. No class.
Make like a tree and get out of here.
That's league, you idiot.
Did he ever get that that was supposed to be the word leaf?
Yeah,
No.
in the
Yeah,
second
wow,
one.
yeah.
He gets it
Wait,
when he's
what?
old.
Yeah, he
That's
did.
from Back to the Future. Is it two or is it the second one?
Doing it all wrong.
That movie pissed me off.
Back to the Future?
2,
Oh, okay.
Why?
because of the great big to be continued at the end of it.
Oh.
Why?
Because I don't go to movies so I can watch a TV show that's to be continued that I can't see the next one for years. I hate that.
Yes,
That's a pretty nasty cliffhanger.
Yeah.
You know what? I
Well,
just
hey,
took
Mike.
it as I'll see it later. And why
I
so
took it
hard?
as I paid for a whole story.
Well, you
Man,
got-
back then-
Okay, technically speaking, I got in for free, but that's not the point.
You got
It's
you
the
got a
principle.
whole story. You got a whole story. It was a
No, I
great
didn't.
movie.
I got half a story because it was to be continued.
No, that was just listen. That was before all of these like mid-credit scenes. It was basically they just incorporated the mid-credit scene into the actual
Stinger.
movie.
Oh, yeah.
No, they didn't. They gave me half a movie.
No, they did not give you half a movie.
They gave me
What was
half a really long movie.
It was a completely. It was a complete.
So it should have been like Lord of the Rings. And just the entire thing.
No, well, I mean,
The Lord of the
Look,
Rings was in
if
part
I
two.
go to a movie, if it was like Back to the Future Part 2, Part 1, and I knew going in that it was part of a sequel trilogy or whatever, however you want to phrase it, I would have been readily prepared to, not have this story end on a cliffhanger.
Mike, you just being greedy.
Yeah, Zach, I didn't like Empire Strikes Back as a kid either.
Oh Lord.
It's a part
I like it
two.
now as an adult, but that's because
Yeah.
you're pre-prepared. You're prepared.
I'm with Zach too. The Lord of the Rings. I didn't hear nobody complain about that when Lord of the Rings. came out.
Everybody knew The Lord of the Rings was a
Mm.
trilogy.
The way I took it was, oh snap! I get another Back to the Future. This is great. And you're over there going, I don't like it. I don't want more Back to the Future. I want 2 more hours in the theater eating more popcorn.
You know what? If I had a YouTube channel at the time,
Oh,
I
I
would be
know.
rich from complaining about that.
You would have been. You would have been like the lawyer and Jeff, or
I would have had.
whoever the other
Yes.
guy was.
I would have had all the hate.
Until the lawyer shows up
With other lawyers.
with other lawyers.
I would have had hate clicks from here to eternity.
See, hate's good. Oh, look at that. What's that there? No death?
No death. Skull and
Oh,
crossbones.
Oh, I thought you were gonna cross it out. Like
So
in the
they're all saying he's deserving of death. Ah!
what's it called? What's the guy's name? Barabbas? Where's he at?
He's out having a good time.
Yeah.
Went to Mickey D's afterward.
You know what to make yeah. He's out murdering
So-
somebody, right?
Tell Mr. Spielberg he can keep them.
That's right. That's right, Mr. Spielberg. You keep that to yourself, mister. What about Indiana Jones? When you watch the second one, you're like, oh man, this one's old. They brought it out later.
I hated the second one.
I
Oh, I
think
love the second
everybody.
Yeah,
Really? Oh, okay.
the first
love
one
it.
was so hard to top. They had to do it. It only really got close with the third.
That was a good one.
I would
The
argue.
third one was awesome. I love
would-
the third one. The second one was garbage.
I think the second one, and after all, this is a hot take. You guys ready?
Nope,
I think the second one is a better story
wrong.
than the first one. The character actually has an arc that he does not have in the first one. He actually accomplishes something, wins, gets to the end. In the first one, he doesn't do any of that. I still love it. I'm just saying it's only because I just like serious. If it wasn't for comic books, I don't think I would have liked it as much.
Yeah,
it-
I wasn't even. I mean, I know some people might have something. Oh, it's better when you have the Christian elements. I didn't even care about that. I just didn't like it. As a kid, it was not. It was like I don't know.
Which one? Second one?
Disliked
Wait, the
that
first
movie
one?
profusely as a child. The second one,
I liked it a lot. That's the only one I saw in the
The
movies.
Temple
too.
of Dumb.
I thought it was good.
I know,
Well,
but
that's-
it's okay. I accept that you're wrong.
I've been accepting your wrongness for a long time, Michael.
Wrong.
You don't
That's
like
right.
anything. You didn't like the second Indiana Jones. You didn't like the prequels.
I like Godfather too.
He doesn't like
The Star Wars prequels.
Tombstone.
The Star Wars prequels are trash. What are you talking about?
I just said you didn't like the prequels.
There's nothing to like.
Zach Richmond and I
Except
are
for-
brothers from another mother.
Are we
Except
not-
for
are we
Darth
not-
Maul.
Are we
There's
not
nothing
saying
to
the
like
same
about the
thing? You didn't like the prequels. Oh, the prequels are trash. Is that not the same thing?
Well, I'm just making the point that there's no reason to like the prequels, so it's not a surprise. And then you're saying
You
I
see,
didn't like.
in this
I didn't
instance,
like
I'm the
anything.
lawyer now.
That's ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
You've always
It's
been the
ridiculous
lawyer.
saying I didn't like anything because I didn't like something that's objectively bad.
That's not objective at all. That's clearly a
The
subjective
prequels
opinion.
are objectively bad. You can't find
Right.
me an objective person.
No. Somebody
Like-
liked them.
You can't
Well, I
find me
can
an
tell you.
objective
Yeah, but they're not
person whose
objective.
opinion I disagree with.
That's right. Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Zach just said, also, Tombstone is a masterpiece.
Yeah, it's a master piece of crap.
Comics Bear says, what's Cousins' opinion on this? We don't care.
We don't.
Actually, I was Cousin was graced me this morning in my chat, and I was like, you know what? I give this guy so much flack. I love that guy.
Yeah. That's great. I hope he's doing
Unless
all right.
A lesser man would hate me by now. Michael.
Clearly, I'm not a lesser man. I
Oh,
love you, Elliot.
Aw,
Uh,
thank you, Michael. I love you too. Oh my
You're-
gosh.
You're allowed to be wrong about everything. It's fine.
I know. I'm so wrong.
well, you're okay.
Not
There.
really. I know I'm not
How's that
wrong.
look?
I'm kidding.
Is that legible? The
Fooled
story?
ya. I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Look.
I don't know what's going on in that word balloon.
This one?
This guy's done nothing but
He's
heal
up in
the.
heaven. He's up in heaven,
sick.
and he's sitting next to the Father.
The right hand of okay.
Do we need a Matt Costin hot take? I can provide one.
Yeah.
On the Bible?
I think you're all wrong, and I love In and Out.
And Steven Seagal's the greatest.
We miss you, Matt.
I think what the prequel would have been better if Steven Seagal was in it.
Well, okay, maybe. Steven Seagal is a Jedi?
Actually, no. Now I think about it,
Yeah.
that's actually not a bad idea.
Steven Seagal as Mace
Not a bad
Windu
idea.
would have been epic.
That would be amazing.
Now I want to actually see Steven Seagal as Mace Windu.
Of course, Mace
Yeah.
Windu dies, but whatever.
Oh, well, he could be a different Jedi then.
it was Steven Seagal.
That's
Wow.
true.
Wow.
He
I
would
think
have
it's in his
slapped
contracts
Palpatine.
or something.
Where's,
You would have
where's-
had a random love scene with one of the young female Jedi.
They would have added just for that.
He would have knocked Palpatine off while sitting on a chair.
And then Order,
Yep.
Order 66, he would have killed all the stormtroopers. In slow motion with one gun. Never having to reload.
Yeah, I heard about this Ahsoka show. I heard it's pretty good, and I watched it, and you know what? It's pretty good.
Elliot,
That's not what I heard. What's that?
how does it read before I ink it? Is it reading okay?
It reads great, Mike. It's good. When you get it all done, it's going to be even better.
Hey, gosh.
Objectively.
And
Always.
because you have the first page of the story that establishes God and heaven, so those figures will call back to that first issue.
Yeah, and I've got little angels flying around them too.
Yeah,
Aren't they
that's a-
cute?
Whee!
Wee.
I thought they were bumblebees.
I had that
You mean
notion
like
at
from
first.
Transformers?
Or butterflies. I thought about that for a
Hi,
second.
John Wick.
Okay, well, I don't want to draw them completely when I can ink them.
Well, do it objectively.
Oh, objectively. Yeah.
Objectively draw them?
The
Okay.
litmus
Okay.
configuration. Yeah.
You can't even say it. You can't even say it. Mike.
Are you doing the litmus configuration? Yeah, the litmus configuration. Come on, tell me you know what movie that's from.
Nope.
No,
Oh my gosh.
Spies Like Us.
Midnight Run.
Who's that?
I never really watched that.
Are you serious right now?
No, I
Angels
watched
are
parts of it. I never watched the full thing.
Dude, it's
Is that
like
right?
one of the best movies ever.
Is that Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder?
No, that's
Oh, God, what's his name?
Is Steven Seagal in it?
Do I look like Matt Costner?
God, no,
No, it's Robert
De Niro.
and Charles Grodin.
Yeah.
It's so good. Oh my gosh, you are so disappointing me as human beings.
Is it like Temple of Doom good?
Not quite. Not quite as good. That's,
It was actually the original script for the Temple of Doom.
Well, it would have been a much better film.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's a lot of those movies I never saw. I didn't, they're just not that interesting. I just recently watched The French Connection. After
The French Connection?
yeah,
John-
Gene Hackman.
John Wick says, I just finished watching Ahsoka show. I commend whoever hacked Disney Plus and uploaded that spoof.
What?
I have to watch it now, man. Dang it. I mean, I was going to watch it already, but now I want to watch it as soon as I'm done.
Ahsoka?
No, it's a
Did-
joke.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right, that would have been cool.
Oh, you haven't
Somebody
seen it yet?
did
Hard
Yeah,
to
you
tell
do
when
that.
John Wick is making jokes.
He's very serious.
Mike,
What?
you don't sound like him at all.
You're above the law, but you're not above mine.
Wow. I love that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Well, you know what? He doesn't even have.
I once used a keto on Leonid Brezhnev.
Nikita. What?
Aikido.
No,
Aikido.
I shop at IKEA.
I used an
sometimes.
Akita, which was a dog, and I cleaned Leonard Brezhnev with it.
Wow, that's powerful.
Akid.
I shop at IKEA from time to time.
Brezhnev died howling.
Wow. Wow. It's a howling good time.
Brezhnev's
You guys,
Wait. Oh, I thought you meant Barishnikov.
Yeah, big difference.
Just a bit.
is it though? Is it?
Barishnikov died.
Oh, probably both guys wore tights.
Brishnikov wore tights.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
a
he's a ballet dancer.
belly dancer.
Oh,
Not a
of
belly
course.
dancer,
Who's
a
a
ballet
belly
Ballet
dancer?
dancer.
He did say
That's
ballet.
Russian belly.
Ballet,
Ballet.
not
Ballet.
belly.
Belly.
You said
Belly
belly.
dancer.
Oh, for crying
There
out
you
loud.
go. You probably could do belly dancing.
You know, for Elliot's sake, I apologize.
That's it. That's it.
That's the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Dun, 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 dun,
boy.
dun, 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 dun.
They look happy.
Of course, they're singing "Holy, Holy, Holy."
Yeah. I wonder if they'll be glad to have Jesus back.
Yes.
Hmm.
Of course, then they're gonna miss the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, for a while. But then everybody gets to be back together. I guess
Well,
that's why
no.
it's such a big celebration.
Well, yeah, that's true because that's in the millennium. Everyone's there. Well, except God the Father.
Eventually, even he comes back, though.
That would be new heavens and new earth.
I love how it starts off with God wanting to live with his man and have man be his people, and it ends that way. It was a long way getting there, but eventually we all end up together. Does Jesus have a guardian angel? Wow.
Which of the angels ministered to him in the desert?
That's an interesting question. I think
Right.
Gabriel was the one that told Mary
Yeah,
that she was going to have
Yeah.
a son.
truth.
And Jesus did say at one point that he could say we're going to have 12 legions of angels.
Mhm.
But
And that's a lot of angels, considering
That-
one angel wiped out 80,000 men in one night.
Yeah,
yeah,
that would be that'd be an overkill for the situation.
that's a little different than a guardian angel, though, I think.
Well, you know,
Hard to
God's
say.
got jobs to do.
Mhm.
Are the angels in this strip? Are they like the Ezekiel angels, or are they like the Precious Moments angels?
Well, I mean, if the people look like this, then the little angels that are flying around.
Yeah, the whole thing is a little more precious moments than flying wheels.
Because that'd be
There's a
crazy.
there's a game that I saw somebody play online on YouTube.
Yeah?
Called the Isle of Eris. It was created in PlayStation something called Dreams. Is that sound familiar to anybody? It's a Lovecraftian horror game, but there's a point in the story where the character ends up before one of the Ezekiel angels, but it's not that one. It's like it's the one that has three pairs of wings and eyes all over it. And I was like,
That's a cherubim.
and it's inside of a wheel within a wheel type of thing. And I was like,
Oh yeah, the wheels and the wheels. Yeah.
oh my gosh, it was so cool. And then there was the flying Tic Tac was there. It was
How do
cool.
you even translate that, right? I'm like, what am I looking at?
Oh, it was.
I don't know. You'd have to
awesome.
plug it into AI and see what they come up with.
Oh god,
What it comes up with.
look what you've done.
The hands probably wouldn't look quite right.
Nice. see what you did there.
It would have five. It would have 5 wings instead of the 6.
Yeah, actually, the 2 legs go on one on each side. Not that's probably fine.
And I'm back.
Welcome back.
Oh wow, we really missed you, Jeff.
I'm sorry.
But we're glad you're back now.
When did you
yeah,
leave?
No, Mike
no,
is.
Mike's not acting glad.
I didn't know he left.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Everybody else knew that I left, right, guys?
Yep.
Right?
I knew it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Oh,
That's very believable.
Well, he just told us.
Right, but new means past tense.
That happened. He told us. That's past tense.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. I really like drawing these like cartoony characters. It's so like easy and fast and expressive.
Yeah.
You can get these really expressive faces because I'm not limited by anatomy,
Trying to look dynamic.
Reality.
Yeah, that is-
anatomical reality. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's your fault.
Anatomical reality is Mike's fault.
Yeah, he doesn't have to draw that way, but he chooses that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm choosing not to here.
No, stop it.
What?
What'd you say?
What'd you say?
no more YouTube drama.
We're gonna be. Someone's gonna do a thing on Twitter. Oh my gosh, these guys are fighting about realistic drawing, anatomy. Bleh. Yeah, I was just saying.
That's a good
Guys gotta resolve your
contemplative
beef.
place. Mike's like, we have a beef? I didn't.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
good. That
So have you
does
been
sound
making any
good.
more jerky?
No, I made some ribs a couple days ago.
Ooh.
I went to.
But you've eaten since then, right?
Ribs.
I've eaten since I ate ribs. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm like, so you've made some meat besides that. Okay, good. Anyway.
Oh, I don't just eat meat. It's anything from an animal. So this
Oh,
is
okay.
AFAR. Okay. Yes, this is AFAR, dumb old Vic.
What? What'd you call me?
Who's he talking to
That's
you?
what his name is, dumb old Vic.
Did he change his name?
Yeah.
I thought you said Dumble Dick.
No.
The R-rated version of Harry Potter.
No.
It's true.
Thanks for that.
It's true. I heard that.
I like
Da,
that.
da, 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 da.
Thanks. I'm kind of making them up as I go along.
It works.
Although I made these up in the other previous panel, or previous page.
Well, I mean, it would have to be the same from panel to panel, right? You can't have characters changing their hats
Right.
between panels. You'd confuse the viewer.
So I think these are going to kind of be the scribes. These guys are the Pharisees.
On with the show. Da, da, da. So I had that in my head now. Da, 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 da. There you go.
So what's up with you guys? Anything new this past 2 weeks since we didn't do a show last week?
That's right.
I cried last week. I cried because there was no show.
Because of why?
Aw.
There was no show.
Because
I was so
Oh.
sad.
I'm sorry. Are you blaming
we
me for that?
missed you.
Yeah.
It was my fault, but
Didn't we talk about that this morning, Jeff? In the chat?
Yeah.
I said,
Yes,
I
we
said,
did.
what happened? What happened to Mike? Is he okay? I don't know what's going on.
And then
What
he
did
started
Jeff
crying
say?
again. I mean, it was traumatic.
I was crying over the artwork. I was striking.
Do you know what you're putting him through?
Then we had to go some more of those child trauma relics from BJ's
Yes. With milk.
with milk.
I've got so much trauma.
Oh,
jeez,
so much
sorry.
trauma.
For Elliot's sake, I'm sorry.
I don't think that's necessary, Jeff. I'll be okay.
Will you though?
This time. Just this time. Go on. Who else was talking? What else was there right there? I saw that movie Extraction finally.
Oh yeah, the first one and the second one.
The first one. I tried to watch the second one, but I realized I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know any. I was fascinated by the Indian culture in the first one. I'm like, oh man, he's got Russians now. Okay, I gotta really pay attention because I don't know what they're saying. I have no clue.
Uh-oh.
I can't read Indian either, or Hindi, but I was still like, wow, this is interesting.
Yeah, I thought the second one was maybe a little better.
Was it? Of course you would. Now I like the first one better.
Okay,
I
but you're wrong.
know I'm wrong. I didn't know anything about this.
So one of the movies was in Russian and the other was in one of the languages in
Hindi.
India?
Hindi,
Oh, okay.
yeah, well, the first one takes place in Mumbai.
Oh,
The
okay.
second one takes place in Russia. So I'm like, oh, okay. Or at least the antagonists are Russian. I think they're
Hmm.
Russian. It could be anything else. I wouldn't even know. Because I'm
So
Because you didn't pay
Is it-
attention.
pretty much.
is it subtitled a lot or
Yeah, lots of subtitles. You got to read a lot.
okay?
That's why I couldn't watch it because I was like, okay, the second one I was working and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to understand anything that's going on right now. So I'll leave it
It's
alone.
like me and anime.
It's a lot of reading.
Yes, Extraction 2 is already out. John Wick. You'll enjoy it. It's right up your alley.
It's right
Yeah.
up your eye holes.
I know. Does he kill as many guys in Extraction?
He might. John Wick
Yeah.
might prefer the puppy bowl.
Dude,
John Wick would be
Man.
like
kills a lot of people.
John Wick's
I was
probably like
I was
this is
impressed.
like half my body count.
The violence in that was just beautiful. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, that's
Yeah, so what
ooh.
they do these like 20-minute long unbroken action sequences. It's like
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh man, it's like
I'm
watching
talking-
a ballet.
I'm talking on foot, in cars, up and down buildings, just like following them all the way, and it's an unbroken scene. It's rad.
Jeez.
Pretty
I mean,
wicked.
laying out the camera work for that would have to be crazy.
Yeah.
I'll quit. I have not. I hope that's as cool as it sounds.
So what have the Lester sisters been up to?
Well, I suppose you've probably heard of the Great Unity debacle, right?
No.
No.
Oh,
I heard something about that.
something about it. Okay. So Unity is a game engine. It's used. There's probably like the most popular engines used for development are the Unreal Engine and Unity.
Right.
Unreal's used for making all of the like AAA titles. It's a really high quality machine. It's free to use. I think until you make like $1 million or something like that, then they have a royalty of like 5%. But otherwise, it's free for people to use. Like, okay, that's cool. Unity, kind of the same thing. They have a beginning, like middle tier. If you make over so much, then I think they ask you to get the pro tier, which is like $1,000 a year or something for it, like that. But anyway, it's been pretty consistent. A lot of indie developers use it because it is free to use. If you're making like under $1 million off of your game project, so it's good for a lot of beginners and intermediates, and even some small studios. It's generally considered a more versatile tool, though it's not as powerful at rendering. So a lot of studios that have a smaller group or make like platform games are more interested in making things that are creative than something that's like visually stunning, because a lot of high quality renders take a lot of artists and a lot of processing, and that just doesn't work for every kind of game. So kind of how it's divided up. So Unity has a lot of really small developers, and that's cool. And Unreal has all the AAAs, and that's fine. Well, Unity apparently just decided that they were going to change their user agreement and charge everyone 20 cents every time a game they made with Unity was downloaded. There are a lot of people who use this for making games that they just do for fun. They share it with their friends. It goes out. It can get a lot of downloads or something like that. So there are people out there who are like, wait. You're saying that I owe you like $250,000, but I don't get.
Well, they can't do
paid.
that. They can't change the contract and make it be retroactive.
Yeah, but that's what they were.
Oh, that's a class
to
action lawsuit waiting to happen.
wait. So all of the small developers have basically bailed off of Unity, and all of the larger developers are lawyering up.
Right.
So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. But it's one of those things. And I mean, even if they said, okay, it can't be retroactive, if you spent 5 years in a development cycle on something, and then they decide to change the terms of agreement like
Right.
7 months before you go live, I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
So, but Unity is what we were building our new engine on. So we had to, meet up with our developer friends and kind of have a conference on this. And we're like, what are we going to do about this? Are we going to try and see how the TOS goes on this? Do we want to, and just talking about it for a bit and kind of like most of the development, like the resources and stuff like that we've built, we can cross over to a new engine. It's going to tank a little, but we went ahead and just picked everything up and like, let's try something that's an open source engine. Unreal is harder to work. It's hard to use the development at all unless you have really high-end computers. So it's usually, again, an overkill for smaller indie games, which is why it's not used on them. So we ended up finding the third most popular game engine is called Godot. And some people call it Godot or Godot. There's a lot of different
Like
ways.
Gal?
Like Gal? Yeah, yes, like her.
How funny. I think I
Gal
actually
Gadot.
have the Godot window open because I was looking at, where is it? Oh, you know what? I shut my computer down today, so I don't have it. I was talking to somebody about doing
Yeah, Pablo knows.
what do you call it? Like a Smash Brothers type game, but with all like 2D animated sprites and actions and stuff. Would Godot for that?
That could be cool. This is slightly unrelated, but not entirely unrelated. I found a piece of animation software. It's really cool. So you do like a 2D, you do your drawing, you figure out how you want it to look, and you get your character, and then you divide the character's like limbs into individual parts. So it's like you're taking your character sprite or drawing and then making it into a puppet, like a paper puppet.
Yeah.
And then you assemble it together and say, okay, the program, this is how this is going to look. And it's like, okay. And then you can assign bones to the different parts, and then it kind of rigs them together, and you can do the animations. And
yeah, my friend V is doing that on what is that? He's doing a game, and it's a hentai game, so I'm not gonna say anything, but
yeah.
But yeah, it's let's see what he's doing that on. But yeah, he's doing a whole game. What's the name of the one you're doing, or that you use that does that, or do you use it?
Let's see. I have
my
is this it up here?
I have my Discord over here. I should be able to find a link. We're talking about that game that lets you make 2.5D sprites.
Yeah. Oh, that's the Steam resources. It's funny thing is, it's like a little make your own fighting game kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
So
that classic.
Yeah, it has a fighting game maker in it. So, and I haven't tried that part, but it does let you export your finished models, which is really cool. So for like sprite sheets and stuff like that. So if you're making a
Snack Studio,
Studio,
I think
that's it. But I guess it's so you can test out your animations and see how they work.
Yeah, look at this. This is done in that way. Look at the range you can get.
Where'd it go? Here it is.
That animation is done in that style you were explaining.
Yeah,
Like the
right.
paper doll
It's
style.
really
You see this,
cool.
Elliot?
Mhm.
Elliot,
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah,
isn't that crazy?
Is that one of those?
Yeah, that's a
oh,
paper
gosh.
doll. That's a paper
Kind of
doll animation. I don't know what the name of the
Which
program
piece of
is they
software?
use.
I think I would know it, but
I lie.
like that. Shoot,
Shy
it's used
Lily?
a lot for. It's used a
Shy-
lot.
You peek Shy Lily?
Well, that one. I know they have something that's kind of used that for a lot of like the YouTube like narrations.
Yeah, the
and stuff like that.
VTubers. Yeah, like
Yeah,
these
mhm.
are all. This is all that same kind of technology.
Yeah,
But that
same kind of
one
thing.
was way cooler.
Yeah, that was very well done. A lot of handles in the faces because a lot of those rigs are just a little too.
Oh, look, mukbang. All right.
No, thank you.
Anyways, all right. Back to Elliot drawing instead of me.
Oh, that's cool.
No pressure, Elliot.
Elliot went
Elliot?
away. We noticed.
Elliot.
I'm not drawing right now. Sorry.
Okay,
It's
just
okay.
checking.
But you got the cool drawing of the Superman.
The Superman, the Ubermensch.
That mensch is pretty uber.
He's Uber.
Be quiet! I order you to be quiet! All right, thinking.
Porky.
But take me off because I'm messing around with the hairdryer over here.
Oh, okay. I hope your hair comes out
Yeah,
well.
let me get back on my screen here. La, 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 la. I'm drawing God. That's not blasphemous at all.
If you're ever going to try and represent the realm of heaven, and especially the throne of God, it's going to be hard to do that without having to come up with a drawing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's always one of those no condemnation for those who are in Christ. No condemnation. What if I get this wrong? It's okay. It's okay.
Hey, you know what? If God went ahead and changed all the scriptures so that I could use my sword bit,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's definitely with you for this.
He's going to need a continuity check on this.
yeah, that's right.
So you're not gonna ask me what I've been doing recently?
What
I
have you been
asked
up
you
to,
guys.
Jeff?
Everybody is included in you guys.
You didn't. Dolan didn't say anything.
Well, Nolan's a
it's
panda.
still
No, he's
available.
not a panda.
The you guys is still available for
Mhm.
everyone to answer.
What have you been up to, Jeff?
Why? Thank you for
Don't
asking.
ask
me.
him.
Writing, I hope.
Editing and revising my next book.
Oh,
Ah. So have you finished? I guess then you've finished up all the chapters?
Yep, they're all done.
Cool.
So, and I'm behind schedule, and I'm here not editing the book. So,
Wow.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to hang out with everybody. So how is that going? Now, this is going to be a longer book, do you think, than your last one?
yeah,
Or-
like triple the size.
Oh, okay.
Is that
Is
right?
it going to be better, though?
Yep.
I don't know. I'm
You know,
getting
and I've-
performance anxiety just thinking about it.
How many pages is it going to be then? Is it
I don't know.
Lord?
Probably.
Okay.
You don't know until you actually have everything done, and then you get into a format, and the number of pages depends on the size of font used, the size of the actual paperback, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So
If it's triple the size, do you think you might be looking to divide it into 2 books?
yeah, I was talking about that, but I'm not sure. It's one of those things where if I divide it into 2 books, it'll make it cheaper for people to buy each book, although collectively it'll cost them more. But
Maybe you could try doing a Chronicles.
no, that wouldn't work.
You don't think so?
No.
You could put the first book and the second and third together in one?
No, because it's episodic. It doesn't have. I'm still writing the story, and if I'm going to put it out, I have to put it out I have to put it out as a book. So, and there's other reasons for it. But my concern is putting out 100,000 or 100,000 word tome. It's going to be expensive for people who want to buy it. And I want people to buy it and it not be expensive. So,
Sure.
Well, how are you going to figure that out?
I don't know. I might not be able to. Might have to just put it out as one big book. Or take the risk that 2 books does the trick. Don't know.
What's your total customer count so far?
I don't know about customers, but I've sold over 600 books thus far.
Nice.
All right, so you can do 1,000 book print run, which should bring the cost down, right?
Well, it's all print on demand. If I go through Amazon, it has to be print on demand.
I see.
So
right, which is not price conducive.
No, it is not. But then again, having to ship the books out myself, that's really not price conducive either.
True,
So,
especially if you're shipping to Australia.
Yeah. So, I have people who bought my books in Australia and Great Britain and New Zealand.
You know,
India.
I got a problem with that. Great Britain. Kind of presumptuous, don't you think?
Well, they were here. They were there before us.
Yeah, but, not that great.
Well, they used to be.
We're not like, hey, it's great America.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't say it. We just think it.
And that's the difference.
What about your country? We're Great Britain. Oh.
I assume that.
Oh.
Is this like the Cliff Clavin stand-up comedy thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what about that Great Britain? Yeah, what about that?
Little known fact about Great Britain there. They used to be called All Right Britain, but then Henry V, he decided
we were great.
We were great.
And
then he chopped off his wife's head.
Well, guys,
everyone said, "Yeah, that's great."
It's 1 a.m. here, so I.
Oh gosh.
And Nolan's not telling us is all of the stuff that he's doing. So
Nolan.
Yeah. Maybe he's sleeping.
No pressure, Nolan. No pressure.
I'd like to highlight Alpha Proto. I don't like the movie Tombstone.
He doesn't like it.
Okay.
It has a love story about a guy cheating on his wife when she needs him the most.
Oh.
Thank you, Alpha Proto.
Well, that's hard to get into.
Well, guys, I'm going to head on out. It's 1 a.m. here.
Get some rest.
So.
Thank you for visiting.
Absolutely. Good luck with your book. Whatever however you decide to divide that up, you've got our support, and maybe we can do a show about like one of them, like on one of the D&Qs. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
we'll get you a link to John De La Rosa's show tomorrow.
That's okay.
You sure?
So
I'm pretty sure I can do it.
I'm sorry.
No.
Are you apologizing for my sake?
Yes. All right. Well, I got to get going, guys. I'll talk to you later.
God bless.
Bye.
The kingdom of heaven. Look, I'm drawing the kingdom of heaven.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's like.
Not like it's the first time. It's kind of a running theme in this book. Weird, right?
That's awesome.
I think we lost Elliot.
I'm still
He
here.
had a hairdryer. Oh, he's there. He
had a
had a
hairdryer.
hairdryer. There you go.
Did
the
Why do you
carpets
need a
get wet?
hairdryer, Elliot? You ain't got no hair.
I'm
Shut
guessing
your mouth,
water.
boy. Shut your mouth.
It could be for his glorious beard.
No, I trimmed the beard down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got rid of it.
So it's
Well,
no
then-
longer glorious?
Oh,
No,
it is. It's just a short, glorious beard.
It's
just
inglorious.
It's an inglorious bastardo.
It's inglorious beardsters.
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully he doesn't have a bunch of wet books or something. That'd be
I'm
sad.
disappointed in myself. I should have left it, but you know what? To be honest, it was
What?
just too ridiculous. And then it's like trying to take care of it. Then gotta cut it. Gotta get a
Yeah.
barber to trim it. Like, come on,
What?
man. Yeah, it's hard to do a nice beard. You can't just do it by yourself.
I wouldn't know.
No, you would not. Thank you very much. How dare you? How dare you? No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, it is what it is. So now I feel lonely without the beard. Oh well.
Was that
But
your best friend?
Lonely.
It was his
Oh, no.
companion.
it was. It was like it talked to me every day. That's why that's when I got scared.
Oh,
When
maybe it
your
was
beard
just.
starts talking. Huh?
Maybe it was like a little like flying squirrel or something made a nest in there,
It
and
may as well have
you
been.
could just like live on your shoulder instead.
It may as well have been. It was pretty freaky. It would talk to me, kept me company. It went to the DMV for me.
Wait, it dislodged itself from your face.
Listen, I can't explain it. It's just what it is.
That's
But
some
actually-
power.
I am gonna have to get out of here too, man. It's late, and I've been
Yeah.
been going to bed at 11 o'clock every night, and it's been glorious.
Oh, so one.
So 1
Okay.
o'clock is gonna mess me up. Thanks a lot.
Hey,
Oh, boy.
you
Not
said
you,
that?
Michael. Not you. I said so. Why would you say that first before I get to say it? How dare
Yeah,
you?
you know,
Yeah.
just making me feel guilty is all. Whatever.
No guilt, no guilt. It's your fault. I'm just kidding. It's not your fault.
You're just kidding about the no guilt. Now I'm even more guilty.
There you go. You know,
Terrible.
if the shoe fits.
How dare
Anyway,
you?
no, I love you, brother.
All right,
I
brother.
just want to hang out with you for a while, but I am going to get some rest because
course. Yeah.
I got to work tomorrow. So
Absolutely.
I appreciate y'all.
You
Y'all
too,
be good
brother.
out here.
Catch up.
All right.
Have a good
Be
night.
good now.
See you on the flip
Peace
side.
out.
Bless.
Work.
All right,
And
Nolan,
then
Phil, what have you been up to?
Sleep.
I think
And
Nolan's out.
He's, yeah, he could be. Probably did. I don't know if he puts little ones to
Why
bed
do
and
people
then just
come
fell
on my
asleep.
show just to go to sleep?
Maybe it's now. Nolan, is he out in California or is he?
He's in Seattle.
Okay, so it's a bit later over there.
No, Seattle's the same time zone as California.
Ah, well, I mean to say it's. Oh, okay, yeah.
oh,
so
then
it's
where you
earlier.
are, you're saying.
Yeah. It's earlier. Earlier,
Earlier,
yeah,
yeah.
it's what, like I guess 11 where you are.
It's
No,
10:15.
10:15. Okay. Whoa. It's amazing when you put in that black space. It really does make that look so much more exaggerated. Like, oh.
Like, whoa.
But that does explain the expressions. Like, dude, are you okay?
Ah!
Ah! What a strange thing to decide you're going to do. Just tear your shirt off. You're so upset.
That's
something
what they
that
do,
happened
man.
A lot.
It's it's grief or like I don't know why he does it here. It's blasphemy. He's like hearing blasphemy. He's freaking out. But yeah, it's like
Look-
usually it's like you hear something really bad, like somebody dies, or
Right.
like when King, is it Josiah? One of the kings like they had just discovered, it was right after they were allowed to go and rebuild the temple. Somebody found the scriptures and brought it back to the king, and the king tore his clothes and put on sackcloth and ashes to repent for because they didn't know all the stuff that they were doing wrong,
Oh,
but he had a heart to do the right thing. So
he just didn't know what that was.
yeah, he's like, wow, we've been messing up this whole time. Everybody repent.
And everybody went, okay, repent from what? Well, here's the scriptures.
Here's
and
the
they read
list.
it and went,
Yeah.
oh, these were all really good rules. Why were we not doing this? Like, I don't know.
Because we left all this stuff in Babylon when we got brought over.
Oh, I guess that's true.
I don't know why they left it.
Love that there's, like, you can see the inside of the garment and where the attached sleeve is for his arm to go through the fabric. That's like,
Give him the curly hair and little nips.
well, you guys kind of got to. I don't think I've ever been so upset that I just had to find some fabric and start tearing it up. Hold on a second.
Yeah, in
I'm gonna knock the heels off the
modern Jewish culture, they've sanitized this practice. They'll give you a piece of material, you pin it to your clothes, and then like at a funeral, you rip the piece of material instead of ripping your clothes because your clothes are expensive. But think about back then, most
Mhm.
people only had 1 or 2 changes of clothes.
So that would have been, yeah. I'm like, this is extremely impractical because
Yeah.
you have to mend that now, and it's going to be obviously mend when.
Yeah,
you
but dude was
sew it back
virtue
together.
signaling. This was
Big time.
yeah.
Oh my goodness! I'm gonna buy some. Dude, you are covered with blood.
They all are.
Yeah.
Alpha Pro says, "Are guardian angels even biblical?" There is one scripture that I think of that I think people get the idea of guardian angels from, and it is that scene where they bring children to Jesus, and then Peter, or not Peter necessarily, but one of the apostles is like, "Don't bring these kids around Jesus." And then when he's talking about how the kingdom of heaven, their angels, he refers to the children's angels um,
Oh, that's interesting.
always being before the face of God. So
Wow.
I think that's the closest thing you can get to the concept of guardian angels that I've ever seen in scripture.
There is a scripture, I think, after Peter escapes from jail and he goes to find the rest of the church,
Mm-hmm.
and a woman goes over and says, "It's Peter. He's at the door," and she doesn't let him in, and she instead tells everybody and goes like, "No, that can't be Peter. He was in jail." Like, "No, I'm pretty sure it's him." They go over again and they can hear Peter talking. "Let me in," and they leave again and say, "Nope, it's definitely Peter." And like, no, and I think one of them says it's probably his angel.
His angel, right?
Yeah. That phrase guardian angel isn't used exactly, but there's an idea of.
Right, but if they heard Peter's voice
Right.
and they thought it was his angel, are they
Yeah.
making the connection that when you die you become an angel? Which would be terrible theology, but we're not talking about theology here. We're talking about like
Well, if they
just
hadn't
just-
heard that he'd been killed yet.
Well, that's
Right.
true.
But it would have been a safe assumption because they were mourning for him.
Dude.
If they'd been in jail, then probably figured they were going to lose.
Is that something that people believed back then? That you became an angel after? How long has that belief been around?
I don't know, but it came from somewhere.
Yeah, could have been from that, thinking like, oh, if he had died, then maybe he turned into an angel or something like that.
This one kind of looks like George Carlin.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. In heaven, their angels do always behold the face of my Father.
Yep. So
Thanks, Miss
I don't know the answer to the question, but that's as close as I can get.
Right. That is also a very cool avatar.
Oh, Mistletoe.
Isn't that cute?
Movies have a big impact on people's perception of the Bible. Dude, what's that? The Dante's Inferno had a huge
With a book.
impact. Yeah, on
That's what
people's
art does.
Yeah, so gosh, I hope people don't start thinking Jesus is a little dude with wispy hair and
No, go and read the book yourself. Like anybody who's like seen a movie, hey, if you thought this was good, read the book. You know, it's there because it will open up. Oh, you did. That's so cool,
to read the Bible.
Mm-hmm. Our eyes point to Jesus.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Pointing this way. Pointing this way.
Truth. So did you guys do anything to avoid the 5G today?
I didn't know about it.
Oh. Oopsie.
So, oops.
But no one in our family is vaccinated, so I guess we're okay.
I hope so. I think so.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah. I guess Nolan died. He must have been vaccinated. He's turned into a zombie.
Or maybe it turned him into a panda.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, I can't believe it. This whole time I was muted.
Oh, you did. Oh no. I hope you don't think we've been ignoring you.
No,
No,
Nolan just
nobody's-
told us like this long story about what he's been doing the past 3 months, and
I'm so glad.
I spent the last half hour making jokes, and no one was laughing at them.
Oh,
Yeah, but
I'm
you're
so
used to that.
sorry. Well, we appreciate you engaging. I'm sorry we couldn't hear you.
RDRR.
It's like, man, I'm bombing tonight. I mean,
Oh,
about as usual as I normally do, but no.
oh, poor panda. No, poor not panda.
It's all good. All right, so we're supposed to be sharing. Yeah, no wonder you guys were interrupting me so much. I was like, how come no one's letting me talk?
Oh, no. Well, you've been very gracious.
I even made the joke where you guys were talking about all right, Britain.
Oh,
Or-
all right, Britain.
I made that
That's all
joke,
right.
and no one laughed. I was like, what?
That was funny. That is funny.
Yeah, I did a funny.
Mhm.
I saw a clip of a stand-up, and he was schooling his heckler, who was wearing like a pink sweater or something like that, and this guy was wearing like a black he was wearing like a black sweatshirt with the white Spider-Man logo on it.
Mhm.
And then so they're yelling back and forth, and the lady's like, well, you got this stupid white spider on your shirt, and he's like, it's Spider-Man hyphen Spider-Man. And I guess like her boyfriend or someone next to him was like next to her said like, hey, excuse me, that's actually like Venom's Spider-Man. And he's like, no, wait, hold on a second. This is actually the Black Spider-Man suit that came out in 1988, and Venom wasn't around till 1991, and then and the whole crowd just erupted from nerdism. It's like Todd McFarlane made this in 1991.
There
Don't
you
mess
go.
with us. Don't mess with us, nerds. I think it's like
Well, actually,
I think his name was like Ted Bond, or no, was it? His last name was Bond.
James.
Bond.
That would be hard not to, if your last name was Bond, to not name one of your kids James.
He looked exactly the opposite of the other Bond. He's like a
Oh yeah. Okay.
He was funny though.
Ted Bond.
Bond.
Oh yeah, Domo
Bond.
Vic was saying something like, what was Potts' pen name? He was looking up a book.
Herman
Herman
P. Hunter.
P. Hunter.
That's right. Hope that helps. Anyways, so what am I doing? I am.
Let me tell you again.
Let me say it again because no one heard me the first time. I'm trying to. Well, right now I'm in the middle of trying to get working on some on a coloring book for my pandas. So I'm just doing that to get it out for the holidays, and then I'm writing another story for a graphic novel idea that I've been writing for like the last couple of years, and writing's hard.
You're not
I
wrong.
suck at it. Yeah, so I'm trying to navigate that, and I don't know, maybe I need to ask a real writer like Mr. Potts to give me some tips, because it ain't easy. But it's a different type of thinking, and it's interesting.
So is it kind of like short stories like Panda seems to have, or is it like a longer adventure? Is it with animals?
I'm starting with the longer adventure, and I'm trying to just observe what I see in media, and just seeing how other people write stories, and like
See how
I
that.
feel like when I watch something, I can get a sense of of what makes a good story or what makes a bad story, and
Mhm.
but it's harder to kind of do it on your own, where you're trying to go
Forge
beyond what
something out
you're
of the air. Yeah.
Reed
yeah
saved
go
the cat.
beyond what you're
Nolan Reed saved the cat.
I
Save
did
the
read
cat.
Save the Cat.
You still don't get it?
No, I get it. I think that I mean I'm taking that in addition to the other resources. Like I listened to, or I read what's the other one? McKay.
McGee
The
story.
McKee, yeah. I read that. I've
That's a
been
tome,
looking at
dude.
what's that?
Story's a tome. It's huge.
Yeah. There's
Good
some
though.
stuff that's pretty interesting when you say, like, for example, like One Piece is kind of the thing on Netflix right now, and so like
Mhm.
I've I've read watched the anime before, and I just recently started flipping through the manga to
Mhm.
kind of just get caught up with what the show's doing, and it's pretty interesting, like how the beats are laid out, and how you can get a sense of the beginning, middle, and end of things, or like
Right.
and and so I'm trying to not really ape it from there, but it's like taking notes from that and some other types of fiction that I'm just looking at, just to get a sense of like, okay, what makes sense in terms of pacing. Does this feel like it's dragging out?
Mm.
And I
Yeah,
feel
what
like
kind of story are you telling? You telling a one-shot story? Because like a serialized story is different than writing like a movie or a novel or something like that.
yeah, and I think that's where I'm a little bit stuck, because I feel like
Mm.
I like the idea of telling this one long story and just have it be as a one shot, and not like have this serialized thing that goes on forever. Like I don't
Mhm.
think I'll ever be like an Oda, because, well, first of all, I like to sleep, and
Yeah.
the guy's a machine, and I'm just not as productive as he is. So there's
Hmm.
that. I think there's that part where it's when writing for serialized, at least from what I've been reading and learning, is like, well, you write it in a way that you want to come and hang out with these characters. Like that's what you're
Mm.
doing with every episode. You're just hanging out with each character. Whereas a full epic, it's more like you know the characters are
It's
completely dramatically different, or they've gone through this growth through this whole period.
yeah, the characters are part of a story rather than an engine for the characters. Like,
Yeah,
well, I mean, maybe starting with like a shorter like story, just like a short adventure maybe with it, just to work through that kind of a process. I don't know how much experience you have with like putting through. Is it an adventure story or a mystery, or what kind of story is it, do you think?
it's going to be a fantasy. I think
Okay.
that's just what it's lending itself to be. And I'm writing it with the punching pandas, so I
Oh,
think it kind of lends itself
nice.
to that. So it's
Yep.
yeah. So there's the part where it's like, okay, I had all this, I have all this lore kind of thought out, and it took me,
Mhm.
it's taken me a while just to kind of flesh it out, and still
Right.
a work in progress. But then when I tell it, is
Thing
it
is,
going to be just this one shot and that's it? And
mhm,
I mean, there's part of me that really likes what
mhm,
was done at Studio Ghibli, where they get a chance to make all these different types of stories. Each one's different. There's not really any that have a sequel,
mhm.
and to me, I think that's pretty interesting to be able to work on different things, or also like a Christopher Nolan type of thing, because he gets to make these epic stories, and each one is kind of different, and there's really no need or desire to do a spin-off or a sequel or anything like that. And to me, I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like the idea, like with Oda, you just make a billion characters and just have this huge sandbox that you just create. But I think I probably would lean more towards the other one. But then again, all I've been
Well,
doing.
then
is
that's. I mean, if you want to play in both fields, then just don't do a story, or don't do something like do the sandbox, do the universe, do the world, like Sin City. They're all Sin City, but they're not all about the same characters.
You could
Right.
just pick out a short story with one of the characters who's in it,
Yeah.
and go like, okay, here's fantasy fishing pandas adventure, stopping some pirates.
Yeah, like
And
if you're always going to be doing pandas, then it's like Panda World, and you can do any stories you want with the pandas.
and then just try a short one, and put that through its paces, and then see how that works for you.
Then if you ever want to revisit characters, it's really easy. You just take a character from your old thing and plop them into one of the new stories.
Yeah, I mean, for Lone Star, did you have that in mind to just have, have it as a one shot, or did you think of it more as I have a plan for this?
Well, I've got a plan.
But when you first started,
Yeah, when I first started, I intended it to be part of a longer series. It's actually the first of 3 trilogies.
okay. And when you planned out the trilogy, did you plan out the trilogy all the way through, or did you just?
I've got the
Did the
ideas for the trilogies, and they're part of my vampire trilogy story. That was kind of. See, Lone Star is kind of a combination of 3 different stories. One is Lone Star and the Iron Cross story. And then one is my Unknown Soldiers story, which is like my G.I. Joe, Monster Hunter characters in the story, which that crossover works where I can just drop Lone Star into that group. And then my Vampire Trilogy story, which is a larger overarching world devastating storyline that I dropped those 2 in there because there was a vampire or monster hunting group inside the Vampire Trilogy story, whereas my G.I. Joe idea wasn't necessarily a monster hunting group, but it was a military group, and so I mushed them all together into one story that had layers and layers and layers of lore that I started writing friggin' 20 something years ago.
So do you write in a similar way, like the Grift script that you shared, where it was like you just type it all out on in Word or in a doc like that, or do you have something more formal that you use?
Wait, what did I share?
Well, in the Discord, you showed like a script for that Grift comic, like a couple weeks back for.
Oh, I didn't write that. That was
okay.
John. Yeah. What I will do is, if I have ideas for a story, I'll whip out the Blake Snyder beat sheet, and I'll see where the ideas fit in the story, and then I figure out what is missing to tie all of the things I want to happen together. And if things don't work in it, then you cut it out before you start drawing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can never overstate the importance of that.
Freaking ants, man.
In games too. Like, no, you don't need finished character animations to see if the battle pacing works. Let's just go with the rectangles and the squares and the circles and get the collisions working. Okay, that's good. Good.
Yeah.
All right, now we'll make the finished sprites.
So have you guys ever done anything along the lines of Smash Brothers?
A fighting game with like hitboxes and stuff.
Yeah, that crazy kinetic action and all that kind of stuff.
We haven't done a lot of physics-based. Well, I mean, not a lot of physics-based movement for most of the stuff I've done. I've done some like puzzle platformers, and I really like RPGs and a lot of story-based things like that. Certainly, something with hitboxes and stuff like that is an option, though generally from the sprite art part of it, that kind of doing the collision checks and things like that are that's more on the programming end. So that's kind of where it crosses over.
Yeah, I'm just agreeing
Oh,
that.
yeah. So, yeah, but when you're looking at things like that and you're testing for like hitboxes and ranges and stuff, and sometimes you'll even see people like, okay, and it's like an overlay when they have the finished graphic on there and it's the animation. And like a character does a hit or something, even when they've got it pretty good, and this is sensible really, once they get the finished artwork in there, they're kind of like, oh, that doesn't quite line up, so they might shrink the box a little on certain things so it doesn't look like the character is hitting and just missing them but registering a hit anyway. But since you're going to need to be making those boxes anyhow, but yeah, I've run into cases where kind of like, yeah, or even when if you're doing something like for an RPG or something like that, and like, okay, and you're kind of like, I'm going to need a set of all these character battlers and all these, portraits and things like that. And I'm like, okay, you don't have a first pass on a script yet. Maybe figure out how this is going to be. You can always temp in some stuff or stuff like that if you need to. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
Couple things.
It-
$1.99 from Dumb Old Vic. Doesn't Jeff go by Dan Fease on pen name? No, he goes by Herman P. Hunter. Alpha Proto says, what about the Marvel method? What would speed things up? Just draw the story and add the dialogue when you letter it. I hate the Marvel method.
Yeah.
And I worked in Marvel for quite a few years. I don't like not knowing what characters are saying and then entrusting it to a writer when I do put, emotions and whatnot on characters' face. Because it's really hard to know what the emotions you want to put on someone's face are when you
don't have a script.
Freaking script.
Yeah.
So that irritates me. I don't like it.
Yeah. Alpha knows. Action games take a while to debug. Yeah.
Oh, really?
He does a lot of sprite animations and stuff like that. So.
Oh, he does?
Uh-huh. I think he does work on doing sprite animations for fighters and stuff. Mm-hmm.
Wait, what do you do, Alpha? What's his shtick?
I know he's done worked with a few different companies doing fighting game sprites.
Oh, he just draws the sprites? Or does he do?
I don't think he. That's a good question. I don't think he does the programming part of it, but I've seen doing live streams where he's working on character sprites and getting the animation working.
Mr. Miller never looked at my channel. I'm sorry. Should we look at it now?
It's not a bad idea. Sounds like fun.
All right, no more mukbang over here.
You pull it up, it's a mukbang channel.
Huh. Well,
Yeah, actually,
don't say it like it's a small thing.
I might have looked at it, and I'm just not remembering.
Oh no! Oh, he's saying no. Don't look.
I'm sorry, Alpha Proto, but
I will be embarrassed.
you forced me to. So I'll stop sharing mine.
Oh, look, Panda's got a mustache. That's his disguise.
That's his Hitler mustache.
That's not a Hitler mustache. I'll show you a Hitler mustache. I'll show you a Hitler mustache.
Okay, let's see what Alpha Proto has to offer here. We'll go.
I think the one next to it might be one of the sprites that he did for a game or was working on it. I can't quite make out the label. I need a little creative.
Blazing World Stars.
Blazing World Stars.
On Patrice's 4th DDT. To do this animation, we'll be referencing Alex's jumping, spinning DDT from Street Fighter 3.
Oh, that's wild.
Let's do that.
Now, are those shakes? I'm assuming those are put in with the graphic kind of like in post.
Then I use existing sprites of Patrice and see how those line up with the animation I'm referencing. After that, I add a new layer that I'm going to have that's completely black. That way I can see the red lines I'm drawing with better.
What is
because
this, MS
looking
Paint?
at the red lines against the grid is really difficult.
I don't know that I recognize it. What is
The
this?
way to do animations is to flip
Is
through the
this? It
frames
doesn't look like graphic scale.
instead
No,
of
it's an animation
What program?
program.
Oh, okay.
better sense of.
It's not one that I know though.
I make sure that
It's not that Studio Ghibli
motion
paint stuff, is it?
No, gosh, what's that one
Which
called?
program do you use, Alpha?
while this is referencing Street Fighter 3 Alex's DDT, I wanted to make sure that it had its own originality and was Patrice's swinging DDT. The au revoir DDT. And not.
Oh, I like the tiny color palette there.
So I added an extra arc to the move.
Sure.
It wasn't there.
Don't strike me, Alpha.
I turned the sprite, I angled it, I moved body parts with the lasso tool. That way I can see the character. The proportions of Patrice are much different than the proportions of Alex. But
Yeah, sure. I mean, just referencing the animation. You'd research any kind of it.
the way Patrice lands is much different than the way Alex lands. Alex lands with one leg kicking out and one leg up. I make sure both of Patrice's knees went to his chest. For the get up animation, I had to make sure
That's a fast recovery.
where Patrice landed.
Still got a nice in betweens
I
though.
looked at the get up frames and where he was, and I had Patrice roll over with his left arm and
There you go.
his legs under himself and pick himself up, and it flowed into the get up animation.
Nice.
Get on up.
Taking a look at the animation, it's flowing smooth from position to position.
Whee! Whoop.
I remember the sequence. I thought it's really good.
Oh yeah, it turned out great.
While becoming its own animation. While I kept in mind the proportions
Like the
of
rotation there.
while doing this animation, what I was wanting to focus on was actually the flow of the animation. So when we pick
Mhm.
back up on this animation, we will be making sure that the proportions fit the character and are consistent.
Yeah, but you want to get the overall rhythm of the movement working before you.
Add the colors and find the lines. So until next time. Sing.
Bravo! Very well done.
Good job. Let me give
Yes,
you.
well.
Let me
And Guardian
subscribe
Heroes is a classic game.
to Alpha Proto.
Yay!
If you guys have not subscribed to Alpha Proto, he's got 619, which is the area code for San Diego.
There you go.
Let's get him up to 620. Man, it is freezing in here. I think my wife has an AC cranked down.
Maybe getting
Always
ready to
doing
turn
it.
in soon.
Driving me nuts. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. Oh, look
Maybe
at your
get a
little
blanket.
Hitler panda.
Oh shoot! It'll be the Charlie Chaplin panda.
You see
Charlie
give him
Chaplin.
the little hairdo too.
Oh, a little boulder hat.
A little bowler hat. That'd be cute. Oh no, now I'm
You
making work for you.
And he's already the right colors. The red, white, and black.
Hmm.
He's a cute little panda. He's got the disguise glasses. Oh, the disguise glasses. Do they usually the Groucho Marx glasses? Do they usually have the eyebrows too?
I
No,
have thick
I got it.
eyebrows, a nose, and mustache.
I added those in. Well, I'm working. I have to work in Illustrator, so that's like.
Yeah, I can't switch between them too quickly. He's cute.
But yes, writing.
Oh yes. Sorry about that.
Totally derailed your whole story.
How long did it take you to write Lone Star? You said that was 20 years ago.
Oh dear.
Well, I mean, yeah, I already had a lot of ideas and stuff in place, so I wasn't starting from scratch. But I mean, once I have that 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 grid, the structure down. It's just a matter for me of pacing it out. Apparently, we're getting pizza delivered.
Pizza.
Pacing it out so that it reaches the number of pages I need, and because I was trying to fit it into those parameters. So, how long your story has to be is
Yeah,
you can't spend that much time on the things that you might want to expand if it's like you only have 48 pages to tell a story.
Right. Then you might want to tell a smaller story, but in more detail.
How did you determine the length of it?
It's 48 pages, dude.
Oh.
It's 48 pages.
No, well, 48 pages is the length of
each issue.
Oh, okay.
And then I tried to write the story so that it had a chapter break at 24 pages. So in the case that I wanted to make it a 6-issue miniseries and publish it in comic book stores sometime, I could do that.
Did you have so is each chapter break considered like a scene? Like if you do like the 3-act structure and then you broke those up into beginning, middle, end, you'd end up with something like 27 scenes ish.
Yeah, but I wasn't.
Or you weren't thinking
for
about
me,
that.
the scene takes as long as it. I know. I heard. I saw. It. The scene takes as long as it needs to take.
Right.
Right, but it's like for me that doesn't mean it's like 4 pages or 3. It's like how much can I fit into each page without over dialoguing the whole thing, right? It's like, do I want to do 12 panels on this page? As long as those 12 panels don't have like 2 paragraphs each of dialogue, you can do that. But you've got to find this balance between dialogue, because dialogue heavy pages are just, you might as well write a novel, right? It's a reason as a comic book. The art is telling the story. The dialogue should be, I don't want to say minimal, but it should be a comfortable range so that it's like you're not spending 20 minutes reading 1 page of a comic book.
Oh, I remember seeing that one panel or 1 page. It's like a full page spread, and literally it's like an S curve of dialogue bubbles that go. It's like a white background. I forget which comic it was, but it was 2 characters just talking, and literally the whole page is just filled with these dialogue bubbles that just kept snaking through the whole page.
You don't want to do that.
It's like who wants to read that?
You think if people enjoy reading, they'd rather have a format besides just dialogue?
For me? No, I'm saying it. I don't. I thought that was terrible.
It is.
Having all that dialogue there.
It is.
Like, I guess like a lot of how I'm writing right now is also kind of a reaction to things that I see when I'm watching shows or whatever, and I'm just like, I just get really annoyed with it, and part of me just is trying to write in a way that is not just a knee-jerk reaction to it, but also a way to make it feel like it's worth, like it's still pretty classical in the format, but it does it well. That's what I'm trying to hope to achieve. It's kind of like, like nowadays it feels like, if you like it, to use a restaurant analogy, if you go to a restaurant and you order a beef Wellington, I feel like a lot of studios these days would be like a restaurant that serves you like a deconstructed beef Wellington, where like there's a
you just want a
pile of flour on one side, a couple raw eggs here, and then maybe it's like a hamburger patty, and they're like, oh well, this is a deconstructed, reimagined beef Wellington, and you're like, no, I just want a regular beef Wellington, just give me that.
Sometimes you do see a lot of, and you can see that in games too. Like I like little fantasy turn-based RPGs. Those, I think they're a lot of fun. And like everybody was making like clever, hot takes on them or parodies of them. It's like, oh, it makes fun of all of the old tropes. I'm like, actually, I would like to have just a wonderful little fantasy story in a world someone obviously cared about, with interesting characters in a beginning, a middle, and an end. I'm not trying to have some kind of torn down version of it. Just a nice game. I like these games, so I can see wanting to be able to make a comic in kind of the same way.
Or just a story in general.
Yeah.
I think for me, I don't have the experience of
Mhm.
doing a story this long, so it is something that's a bit of a challenge to try to swing for the fences. And I'm not trying, and I don't like the idea of me trying to try to make this thing work because I think that's just not great sound advice. But at the same time, it's like, well, when am I actually going to be able to do this? And so at least I've started the process, but it's for me, I tend to work in a very perfectionist way, so it's kind of antithetical to the
Very clean.
to the process. So one of the famous stories in animation is the Richard Williams, who was behind the Roger Rabbit animation, and he was brilliant animator, and he tried to make his own what was it, the
Thief and the Cobbler.
right? And he never finished it, right?
Oh.
And
The recobbled edition's the best one.
Yeah, and it's like I don't want to end up like that, so I know there's certain things I have to sacrifice.
What choices do you want to make, and what's going to be the most important to you? Now, you do your art in vectors, right?
No, I do a Photoshop. The logo that I have is done in vector.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say you could try doing something like it. And again, I don't really know what your process is or what the comic's going to be like, but I'm assuming it's using these characters, like the panda characters.
That's weird.
It is, and there's a little bit of retooling that I have to rethink it in order to make it work. I had mentioned before, like seeing other different types of works and seeing how they do it. Like for example, like recently I was just looking at some of the Dogman comics, or the graphic novel, for example, and it was Lloyd.
Very cool.
Awesome work.
Lloyd. Nice. Which sequences?
The staircase scene. That'd be awesome.
I know, right? There's so many.
That might have driven you nuts.
What did you do?
But yeah, like the Dogman series is basically it's a spin-off of it's like a spin-off of some characters from Captain Underpants. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's these two boys that
It's you, Lloyd.
oh man.
I'm just gonna bring up everybody.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now you're gonna get a channel strike.
Exo, man. Let's go.
Well, them's the rules. If you're watching the show, we get to show your channel.
Nice.
So pretty. There's all the supports. Because of the explosion? So what you're saying is I can't paint them with flowers?
Cool.
Cool.
Exo Combat coming soon to Patreon.
Yay!
That's cool, dude.
That's very
That's
cool.
very cool.
Bravo.
Got him.
Oh, what's this in? Oh, ZBrush.
ZBrush, yeah. I haven't used ZBrush in so long.
Oh, yay! I can't paint them with flowers.
Be kind. That was great, dude.
Yeah.
Now, why didn't you? Can you not mirror when you're dropping eyeballs in there? Like I said, I haven't used ZBrush in forever.
Well, he's mirroring here, I guess. But
Right, but then he dropped spheres in for the eyeballs. Can't mirror that.
Well,
Maybe it's not too hard to make two of them.
maybe he just wanted to have some of the imperfections in there, the human touch.
He's trying to excuse his old videos.
Yeah,
He's
but they're cool.
He's preempting AI.
Yeah.
He's trying to roughen it up a little bit. You're a visionary,
Preemptive
Lloyd.
criticism. Yeah, it's funny. It makes me want to use. But I only ever used it just to play around.
Get back into sculpting, right?
Yeah.
Have you tried Blender at all, Mike?
Yeah.
ZBrush better?
No, actually, that's what I meant. I meant Blender.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't modeled in Blender yet.
Oh, very cool.
He's
Well, if
working
you
on a Batman bust right now, but he's not recording it and putting it on YouTube.
If you won't post it on YouTube, then send a copy on Discord when it's done. That sounds really neat.
Yeah, that's cool. Good stuff, Lloyd.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the total time on this? Is that listed in the?
8 minutes. He does this whole thing in 8 minutes. Isn't that amazing?
He's fast.
Right?
You gotta drink like 2 cups of coffee and take a deep breath and just go.
Man, my wrists are killing me.
Yeah, the symmetry tool is pretty cool. I use that when I can on Procreate too. Boy, it is just amazing how far all this technology has come in just 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, like my little pimples. Sheesh.
15 hours. No, that's still good.
I mean, it's not as good as 8 minutes.
Well, okay.
15 hours is the answer.
That's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it's amazing how most of it is free to use now too. Well, Blender's always been free, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've added the sculpting kind of somewhat recently to it, I think. But yeah, it used to be all 2D stuff was really expensive and really hard to run on any computer, but they've gotten a lot better with it.
The donut guy, I saw him he's getting blasted on Twitter over his comments about AI.
The donut guy?
When you're learning Blender,
tutorials?
there's this donut tutorial.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shoot, he's Australian. I forget what his name is. Is it Andrew? I'm thinking of the video Copilot guy. No, this guy's name is. I'll look him up. But yeah, he mentioned something about how AI can, expand the capabilities of an artist, and then everybody just jumped down his throat.
Well, I mean, it is a tool.
There was so I still have 3D Andrew Price. That's right. Even people are saying, "Oh, go find alternatives to his tutorials because don't support this guy, whatever." Try to cancel him.
I was freaking cranky about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was Where was it? Oh yeah, so I still have subscription to SCBWI, and I saw in my inbox the other day there was a workshop that they were setting up in November for a Chat GPT workshop for authors. Then that was like a couple of days ago, and then today I get another email from them saying like, well, due to the climate of and the cultural or something about like the
Due to a bunch of people complaining to us.
yeah we had to postpone the event. It's in our best interest to do so, and they were charging $15 for this for this workshop. And I'm like, that's kind of
Oh, cool. How did this end up printing?
well, what's going on here? Physics or
No,
this
it's
is
3D
printing.
printing.
oh gotcha.
Do.
Whoa.
Wow.
So
9 hours of print time. Yeah, my brother has a bunch of 3D printers. I should freaking take advantage of that.
yeah.
He's got an auto. He
Oh,
manufactures auto stuff. So
There
he's
you
got
go.
like metal 3D printers and plastic.
ooh.
Pretty much anything you can 3D print. He's got the capability to do it. I'm like, yeah, I should have you do something for me.
This looks like, how big a model do you think this is?
It looks enormous, but I'm like,
Yeah, right. Like
So I'm
lights.
kind of new to this. So is the reason why you put those blocks in is to support the model as it's being
So it doesn't
printed,
collapse. That's
collapse?
right.
Right.
And then it breaks off. Yeah, because the filament has to, or resin, whichever you're using, has to be propped up on something. Once it
But-
sets, then it's okay to take them off.
So are they made of the same material or is it a
Yep.
different type of material? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's made out of the same material. It's usually just kind of thin where it connects. So there's usually a lot of them, but they kind of break off. Like, you've ever gotten like a model kit where it's the pieces and you have
Yeah.
to snap them out of those little square? Right. So
oh, he
kind of
was
Yeah.
Charlie Chaplin panda.
oh, look how cute he is.
Yeah,
Oh.
Not quite a
That's the
Not
Hitler
quite it.
mustache.
But he's got a panda like a Charlie Chaplin hat.
Right.
well, could have
Well,
the
Chaplin
Hitler.
had a Hitler mustache.
I was watching The Dictator and I haven't
That-
finished
yeah.
it yet.
That's a
amazing.
It's old.
Now, from what I understand, that mustache was sort of a thing from World War One because, like, the masks they wore, like for the mustard gas or something, like wouldn't do a seal on a on a full size
yeah.
mustache, so people would cut down the
Cut it
sides of their
down.
mustache.
That
Interesting.
could be.
Oh.
It makes sense that it would have to be some kind of like the bustles on dresses where it would have a large back but be flat on the front. Kind of like, wonder why somebody decided that was a good idea. And before then, the fashion was to have just this big hoop all the way around. But ladies were kind of like, they couldn't go out and play like tennis or do anything else outside with this huge thing that went all around. So they went, well, what if we just made the front of it flat so they could still go outside and play tennis or any of the other sports with everybody else, and that would be okay. And there, it gave them so much more freedom. But they just
How about if ladies just don't play sports?
well, that was back when people used to actually play games for fun and to be social. Like, that used to be a thing.
What? It's weird.
Mhm.
Never heard of such
I
a
know,
thing.
right?
Bowling managed to keep that. I mean, there
There are still people who bowl for fun. That is
Yeah.
true.
So yes, you're right. You're right, Mike. It is a he was ordered to trim his mustache because he had to wear a gas mask.
Who? Charlie Chaplin?
Hitler.
Oh,
They call it the toothbrush mustache.
right. So that was for Hitler, and then Chaplin was just copying Hitler.
No, well, actually, I think Chaplin was before Hitler.
Maybe he
Or
just
am I
did it
wrong?
because it looks funny. It could be like when you look at some of the makeup that was used at the time, like women would have the little bow lips. Like, it's amazing when you look at some of the restoration, like really good restoration on those videos, and you're kind of like, holy smokes! Like you can see where it's a normal shaped mouth, and then the lipstick just goes a little high over the top, and it just turns in this little round shape, and you're like, oh wow. But I mean, if that was considered like the look, to have just that really small narrow mouth, and it kind of makes sense that a mustache would be similar. It would just be kind of like a masculine version of a little bow lip, and it just looks cute.
It was a trend that happened. So I'm reading here that it was a trend that happened in the early 1900s. So it used to be it's supposed to be a rejection of the the traditional full bushy mustache. So it's supposed to be like a modern take on mustaches.
Mustache. And the big button chops and beards and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Apparently Disney even had one at one point.
Yeah, he always had kind of a small mustache, right? Like, I don't think I've ever seen Disney with a handlebar mustache, or you get the wax and it curls up at the corners or anything like that.
No, Disney was just a big fan of Hitler.
Mike might be.
Did you ever see that? I think it was a Saturday Night Live bit on the last guy to have a handlebar mustache, or not a handlebar, a little.
Oh, those little mustaches.
Yeah, and like all of his friends were like, "You can't wear that mustache." He's like, "Why? I've always had this mustache."
Oh, poor thing. I like it.
I'm like, have you not heard of this Hitler guy? I said, I don't pay attention to the news too much.
Oh my goodness. Poor thing.
Or actually, I think I put, oops. I put a link in the second link in the chat is what it is. I can't pull it up.
Boop.
What is?
Like it's sort of like it. It's trimmed down though.
Oh, yeah. It still has like a mustache like shape. Like it doesn't look rectangular. Like it's not like, it just looks like a tiny mustache.
It just looks like a tiny mustache.
Right?
I'll just shrink my mustache a bit.
It's just you shrink it. It was a mustache and then you just reduced it about
well, it makes his nose look bigger.
There you go. That must have been the goal.
Yeah. It's like when women put, shading makeup on the sides of their nose to make it smaller. You put a tiny mustache under your nose, and boom, you've got a schnoz.
There you go.
Bada bing.
Mm-hmm. He wanted to be easier to caricature. You're making this too easy for the animators, Walt.
You have TV on stuff. You should try to make it a little harder.
You okay there?
I'm okay.
Oh, okay.
Hey, okay.
That's good to hear.
Disney was anti-communist and union, so the union said he was a not Z sympathizer. Einen kleinen Schweinen.
I'm sure you could figure out that communism thing was going to be a problem.
My business is killing Nazis, and business is a booming.
Oh man, I still have a tin from like World War II Disney cartoons. It's so good.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Nice.
I can't wait to show them to my son. It's like buy American Steel.
Is it possible to still find those anywhere, or have they all been
YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are on YouTube.
Maybe Rumble.
Yeah, there's one where
get rid of my Donald Duck hugging the. Oh man, I used to have a little clip of Donald Duck hugging the flag, and it's from that one where he dreams that he's a Nazi or something like that.
Oh, poor Donald. Oh, I know.
Such a great video.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like one short that I used to remember watching reruns on Nickelodeon, and it was Goofy learning how to ride a pogo stick. It's like one of those instructional ones where it's like, there's the humble pogo stick.
Aren't those the best?
Yeah, but then there's a scene in there where one of the goofies is like riding a pogo stick super fast, and then he gets chased by another cop who's riding a pogo stick because they're riding pogo sticks to save on steel to donate to the war, and then they're running through the countryside with all these billboards, and I think one of them says like defeat the JAPs or something like that to that.
JAP. Now, what does that stand for?
Jobs. Jobs.
You could say Japs. I know you're not racist.
Well, I don't want to do. Nothing matters if you're tagged or not.
We can say Japs, Gooks, Slopes, Chinks. What are all the other ones? Sorry, there's so many
that's
for
very
Asians.
patriotic.
It's like
I was starting to watch the Pacific, and yeah, like in that show, they had like tons of stuff where it was like, oh, they're just saying like, oh, let's kill all the Japs and everything, and I'm like, yeah, this is. I feel like if it was made in modern times, they would like be like, let's take out those Japanese, or like, they didn't hold back in terms of like the insults, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably how they talk like back then.
yeah. What I always found kind of ironic and funny is that they made Gook into like a
Yeah.
pejorative. It's like Gook is literally how you say Vietnamese in Vietnamese. It's like that's the word. It's like saying Japanese is pejorative. It's like
It would be funny to get a picture of Donald Trump hugging a
It
flag.
would be like
next to
saying
Donald Trump.
Nihonji is a pejorative.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
that's how we say Japanese in Japanese. It's like
Yeah, I heard like Bobby Lee, the comedian, talking about the word Chinaman. He's like, that's just, just saying like where someone's from. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like a German man or a American man. It's like, well, I'm not from there. Well, you're a Korean man then.
Wherever it is you're from.
Kind of loses its punch though.
Japan
It is
man.
funny how having that sound at the end makes it sound like a person from a location. Like if you say, yeah, like Korean, China.
I think China only works with China because their country has 2 syllables.
Yeah, I guess it's just the way
Everyone
the
else is
word
at least
sounds.
3.
Well, I think it's whatever sounds best in a southern accent. It's like Chinaman. It's like, well, yeah, that works.
American.
That's pretty easy to say.
Belgian man. It doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
Belgian man. That's
Ukrainian man.
The Belgian,
Ukrainian.
Belgian. Korean.
right? You can't say
Belgian.
Chinan.
China.
He's
Oh.
Chinan.
You Dominican man.
He
Take
wanted
that.
to
Dominican works.
Wait, so you had one where Donald Duck is hugging the Nazi flag, or is it
Yeah.
the?
It's just, I'm so glad to be an American, or something like that.
Oh, he's hugging the American flag in that one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
We need to get a picture of Donald Duck and Donald Trump both hugging American flags. That'd be great.
Oh, they say that calling
Yeah, that's
oneself
exactly
American is
this.
insult.
You know what? I'm gonna find it because I have it on my computer.
No, I'm looking for it. I did find a timestamp for the other one.
Videos.
Did anyone think we were going to get a Donald as president when they were putting that down in the write-in for so long?
I would actually get
Donald?
a President Donald.
I found it. It's in the chat.
I have it. I'm finding it. I
It
want
must
to
be
find it
done.
on my.
There you go.
They both have monosyllabic names with U's in them.
Is this it?
Superman? Yahweh is the Superman.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
What
that's
even
not
is this
it.
drawing?
No, it's the same. No, it's the same short though.
I know. I can't play the whole short because Disney will.
No, I have the timestamp on it is like 6.
Y'all
Go to
eat these sausages.
8 minutes 50 seconds.
Oh wait, is it this one?
It's okay. You're the one. It's your people.
It's my people's. That's my grandpa right there.
I love that he has a tuba. How does he have it?
Was that a sousaphone?
Oh, it might be a sousaphone.
Tuba, very appropriate. Okay, here we go. This is it.
Yay!
It's like the clearest that Dulles ever enunciates his words. Super duper Superman.
That's just the helmet's just kind of swinging on its little axis.
Oh, it's just so good. All right. What do you want from me here? What do you got? Oh yeah, that's the same clip. All right. Yeah, I have those on my computer.
Did you see the other link that I posted? The one before the last. You see the timestamp on that one? Yeah, that was the billboard that showed up in the short. So I didn't, when I first saw it on Nickelodeon, they would cut that part out, and then when my brother bought the DVD, we watched it and we're like, "Whoa, this is in it."
Let's see.
Yeah, so that's the scene. Yeah, that's the scene.
Inventing things is kind of a hobby with me, see? So I put on these.
Oh no, yeah. Wait, is it this part?
And then I get me a good
Just
strong magnet, see?
Oh, it might have been this part. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he had like he was using. This would not work.
Go beat the jet with some scrap. Okay.
That would not
How
work.
dare you, Nolan? You racist Chinaman.
Whoa. Well, I mean, you guys did like overrun our country.
Yeah, we did. How did you let this tiny little country the size of California beat your entire continent?
I think, what is it?
Political infighting?
China is like 4 times bigger, or they have like 4 times the population of the USA in a quarter of the land, in quarter of the livable land of USA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like 4 times the amount of people. It's like 4 times the amount of people in a quarter of the space. Because all the space in like China is like most of it's just coastal cities. The rest of it's just like barren mountain lands and deserts and stuff. That's where you get those massive solar farms.
Oh dear.
Lies. Never trust a Chinaman.
I don't know. I don't know, right? I don't know why I'm saying we.
You're American.
My grandparents bailed on that place a long time ago.
Yeah.
And you're clearly not a panda.
My grandpa was literally on the other side in World War II.
Oh dear.
Yeah, there was a part where I think because there was like between the nationalists and the communists was pretty brutal, like in China. Like they were just fighting all the time. I think even like Mao's wife got killed in the process. And there was a part, so like one of my grandparents, my great grandparents, she, they were wealthy, but they lived pretty much the same as everyone else. Like they owned land, but it's not like they were, decked out in jewelry or anything like that.
Right.
But people perceived her as
food.
yes, but people perceived her as wealthy. So during the part where like they're, they're
killing the wealthy.
Yeah, or they're just harassing the wealthy. Like she would get harassed for money. At least this is what my relatives tell me. And so like they would do it. They would torture her by getting like pieces of bamboo and shoving it up her fingernails
Yeesh.
to get her to pay up. So she kind of has some. Like she eventually immigrated, but she has obviously some PTSD from that. So they said like she was pretty much like a shell of who she. But
It's
yeah,
a terrible
that's
place.
that's probably why they're not organized enough to fight against the Japanese.
Yeah, I would say so. They're kind of in the middle of killing each other.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know how accurate the TV show is, but I did hear reports about like when the Japanese would fight, they were pretty brutal in terms
Oh
of
yeah.
Yeah.
like they wouldn't give up
It
at
was
all.
awful.
Like they would just fight to the last man. They would just go all out. Which of course led to like the kamikazes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so it's just a different type of warfare that probably no other country really has that mindset to fight against.
Yep. That's why I'm pro nuke.
In that case, you have
No, I mean
There's-
most Japanese
That was the
people
sentiment, yeah.
who haven't been reprogrammed by the American education system will tell you, yeah, that was the only way you were going to stop us.
Yeah, there's in one of the Narnia books, it's the Snow Queen. She's talking about the war that she had with her sister, and she was talking about this. I don't know if I need to put a spoiler warning in for this, but spoilers. She is at a war with the world that she came from, and she was going on about how it was this great and terrible battle, and she said, "I spilled out the blood of my soldiers like water," and to her it was a bragging point that she slaughtered every last person she was responsible for. And then when she was going to lose her sister anyway, she destroyed their entire world. There's some people who have so little respect for life that they're willing to throw away everything they should be taking care of just for a trip of ego or tradition or something like that. And I think in that case, well, it actually literally took Aslan to stop her, but in a case like that, you're like, yeah, you're not going to win this. You can't go like, well, I'm concerned for my people, so I'll, back off and need to communicate about something. So,
Yeah, it's also the respect for life thing. That's pretty much a Judeo-Christian ethic.
I suppose so.
A whole lot of history is filled with cultures that have very little respect for life.
Yeah, it's so sad. But it's also
And especially when you're talking about king's life, emperor's life versus the peasantry.
Right, just normal people who they love their children. Like, even if life's hard, they still want to live it, and they care about the people who love them. But if the ruling class thinks, well, you're human, but you're not quite human,
You're my popcorn troops.
Yeah,
I'll throw as many of you as I need into the meat grinder to win this thing I want to win.
Yeah, and for what? Well, they stand before God one day too.
Yeah, there's lots of quotes from Mao that are similar to that line of thinking. It's like, well, if you kill like 100,000 of us, there's still like 200 million of us.
Right.
And
meanwhile,
China,
the soldiers will be like, what?
What? Exactly. Like, actually, I need to come back and take care of my family. Yeah, no, you don't. Yeah. No, that was the point, wasn't it? Like,
Well, I don't know, because I've read Gulag Archipelago, and if the Maoist communists had the same mindset as the Russian communists, then they would have been like, oh, Mao wants us to go die for our country. Let's go. Meat grinder! They're like pig pile in.
yeah, no. It's a lot
I'm
of
generally
mess.
okay with watching
grinder?
war movies and gore and such and the like, but I think one of the scenes that probably was one of the more impactful one was in Game of Thrones, the Battle of the Bastards. There's they're battling and they're fighting, and then you see like as the battle goes on, like these guys are fighting through, on top of hills of bodies, like it's just stacking up over, and that was pretty gruesome.
Yeah, I mean, have you read a history book?
Yeah. But I don't think
that's what I'm saying. The value of life that has been skewed to what it is today in the Western world, and it's not everywhere. Oh my gosh, go to Africa. They rape babies, and it's like, there's still it's still very much a Judeo-Christian ethic that we value life as much as we do.
Yeah, because of our Creator.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes, and he sent in the midst of all of this horror, he still sent his son to die for us.
Yeah, and that was in the time where life was at probably a minimum value.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely the worst.
I mean, you have like big, powerful people like I can't remember. Is it Polycarp? Was that not Polycarp? That was a Christian. What was the name of Hannibal's father? He was also a big time general, dude. But I mean, he sacrificed Hannibal's older brother at 5 years old.
Yeah.
It's like,
Jeez.
that's just
what
do you
life
have
doesn't mean
kids for? Oh, so I can sacrifice them so I can go win a battle. It's like, isn't the point of winning the battle
to take care of your family?
It's like,
yeah, exactly. To have a safer world for your children. That would be
what are you
the
talking about?
point.
That's what I have these kids for.
Yeah.
His name was Hamilcar Barca.
So if your kids betray you at some point, don't take it personally. Oh my goodness. I think someone was saying that at that point when Jesus was on the cross, that judgment was being passed on the world because things were just that bad. And they're kind of like, yeah, Jesus had to be there to take that, or the world would have been consumed.
It's certainly possible. I mean,
yeah.
What happened to all the yeah.
Okay, 64. So this is Matthew 26. 26. 64 to 66. All right. Share to. All right, I'm done, so I'm going to wrap this up, but I'm going to share it to Dropbox so you guys can see it first.
Nice.
Can't believe this is the only page I got done today.
Well, it's a pretty complicated page with a lot of characters and some good backgrounds.
It's probably more than I got done.
You slacker. This is why the Japanese... No, just kidding.
His panda has a hat. That's
no, because
really
it takes like 20 of us to do the job of one. I'm just waiting for my next shift. My replacement. Alpha Proto got some statistics here. Ooh, boy. That's a lot of flesh.
Let's go. War-related deaths in Russian, 8.6 million irreplaceable losses, 6.2 million killed in action, 1.1 died of wounds in field hospitals, 500,000 non-combat deaths, POW deaths, and missing 4.5 million.
Bloody a century.
In the Middle Ages, life had little value. Yeah, and that's the thing is like, and part of it I think is that one doctor. This is strange. I think that one doctor that discovered that washing your hands between patients would keep you from killing the children you're birthing.
That was fantastic.
And the mothers who are birthing them. I think that one dude was responsible for dramatically shifting the value of life as well, because in a lot of cultures, they wouldn't even name their kids for years until they were 2, 3, 4 years
Right.
old.
That's obviously
Because-
going to live.
Yeah, because they weren't going to live, right? So you didn't get attached, which led to other psychological problems, I imagine, in
Yeah.
development
Yeah.
and whatnot. But when it became more common for children to actually survive,
Then maybe it could be a joyful experience to hold a new baby.
yeah. All right, so here we are.
Oh,
Oh wow.
wow.
Where's Elliot?
Let's go wake him up.
Wake him up. You need to read it, Elliot.
Exactly, Alpha Proto. Why wash my hands? He actually got laughed. I think he might have gotten laughed out of the profession
For saying it's important to wash
for
your
trying
hands.
to tell other doctors they should wash their hands because he discovered that hey, look, my patients aren't dying.
Doesn't
'Cause
the Bible
I'm
say
washing
you
my
need
hands
to
in between
wash
them.
your hands?
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't know what germs were. They didn't know all this stuff. It's like,
The Bible always says wash your hands.
Yeah.
If you do anything, wash your hands.
Yeah.
Okay, now wash your hands. Like that and wearing shoes has probably saved more lives.
all right, well, there's AFAR. It took me
Oh.
almost 3 bloody hours to get this one page done. Killing me. But he got institutionalized, I think. Great.
Wunderbar.
Thanks everybody for being here.
Absolutely.
We're done.
All right. Thanks for coming, keeping us company, everyone.
And don't
You
forget
really
for me and Not a Panda.
Good look at my face. I'm an Oriental.
Yes, you are.
All right, we're out of here. Thanks everybody. Good night and goodbye.
Good night,
Good night.